from Mansion Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The PIAA, in association with WITF Channel 33, presents high school football. Today, the championship in boys AA between the Buccaneers from Pearl, the champions out of the West, against the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt, the champions out of the East. So far through the single A and triple A games, the East and the West have a win apiece. Got two games today. This is game number one in AA between the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt, a team that has played 4 teams in Quad A, against the Buccaneers of Pearl, Gary Sutton, who have played a couple and got waxed earlier in the year. A team that relishes the underdog role, and one that is a little bit of an underdog today.
Well, they've lived on the razor blade throughout the playoffs so far, having played 2 overtime games in the last 3 games. One of them a triple overtime game, and the other game, which wasn't an overtime game, had to be decided in the last few minutes. So they're a team that likes to come from behind. They've been doing that throughout the playoffs. They're not big, they're quick, and they have big hearts.
Weather forecast here in Altoona turned out to be a little better than expected. Yes, light snow, light winds, but a lot better than the 4 to 6 inches of snow that they were picking on Friday. And the temperatures here at game time, Gary, are actually fairly reasonable considering what it was like this morning in single digits.
Well, you may not want to sleep out tonight, but 28 degrees isn't bad. A little bit of light snow coming down right now. The field's in great shape. A little bit of light snow on the field, but no ice. Thanks to the Altoona football team coming out here today and helping to clean up the stands in the field, and along with a great grounds crew down there that has this field in top-notch condition. This is
a playoff-rich tradition program, Bishop McDevitt. They have not been to the promised land in a long time. Now there's Tom Henderson, the head coach at Burrell. In his 3rd year, he has them here. And again, you talk about mental toughness and a team that relishes the underdog role. They were playing taking care of business in their locker room beforehand. Bishop McDevitt, Fort Chapman, his dad, Harry Chapman, built Cumberland Valley into one of the premier programs in the state. We asked him if he thought about it. He says, there isn't a day that goes by where I don't think about my father or any of my parents, but today is certainly special in the Chapman family considering the traditions involved.
Everybody that comes onto the field today, Jen, has a special moment in their mind, a special person, a special situation, maybe even a quiet dedication to someone, and that's the neat thing about being in a state championship this afternoon. And you look at Tom Henderson down there on the sideline. This guy brings in a run-and-shoot offense. Absolutely outstanding in a high school football program. He'll mix it up a little bit with the eye. Both coaches this afternoon, Chapman and Henderson, very, very innovative. We could see some new wrinkles in both their offenses today.
Talking with Fort Chapman before the game, he says yesterday at the team mass, we talked about this being the last time that this particular unit would be together. The seniors of Jordan Scott, Rakai Nelson, guys we're going to talk about a lot today. He says that during the mass, they said this is not an end, it's only a beginning. And Gary, I think that's exactly what you got to do when you're in a state title situation like this, is talk about the experience the young men get and basically take everything you can out of the particular situation.
What you have to do when you come into a game like this is really take an approach of attack and adjust. Prepare what you do well. Both teams, Bishop McDevitt and Burrell, coming in here this afternoon, have certainly gotten ready by preparing what they do well. The problem becomes when you have 2 very innovative coaches, as we mentioned, they now are going to give you some things that you're going to have to adjust to. So the second part of that AA theory comes in. Now adjust to those things and make sure you get back on the attack after you're able to make the adjustments.
Going to take a look at the Pearl offense and really only talk about 3 guys, but I'll tell you, they have a lot of firepower, and if you like your football in the air, this is an offense you're going to like watching today.
30 points a game and only 13.9 points a game against, and you look at this offense, look down the line, Matt Pega at tight end, Joe Kurdick, Joe McCallion, David Vassar, and Stephen Liu up front, along with Jason Gregg. He'll be the big one. This team averages under 200 pounds on that line. Gene Nicastro, a split end who's going to be a factor this afternoon. He has 21 receptions, 4 touchdowns, averages 18.6 a catch. Kevin Horwat, a guy whose name we'll call an awful lot today, is the quarterback. Horwat on the season, 122 of 239 for 1,699 yards and 22 touchdowns. He's 51% quarterback, doing a great job. Johnny Horwat, his brother, all he's done is have 1,319 yards, 17 touchdowns. He'll average 6.6 every time he touches the football. And you throw in there Jeff DeVore with 15 receptions, 276 yards, and you have a team that can get it done on offense.
Well, there's a fast food chain that asked once, where's the beef? Well, when we look at the McDevitt defense, the beef is up front, and that's going to be where the football game is won or lost. McDevitt, a decided advantage on the line of scrimmage, especially when we look at them on defense here.
McDevitt, a team that's averaging 258 pounds along the front line, and they're a team that will be very opportunistic, and you see them up there. Drew Painter, Corey Diver. He has been a maniac during the playoffs. He's averaging a sack a game. Steve Spoljarek, Don Painter, Todd Mealy, Bill Cyber, Kenny Borelli, Jordan Scott. Jordan Scott, you'll see him a lot on offense as well, quarterback. Jacoby Pittman, Scott McDyke, and Chance Carter.
All right, the teams are going to meet now for the toss of the coin. Again, we mentioned temperatures 28 degrees, but it feels a lot colder than that wind chill-wise. Let's go down to the center square and find out who's going to get the football first.
Okay, I want you all to shake hands with one another, please. Nice to see you again, Coach. Okay, first things first. I want both teams to look at the clock. That will be the official time unless it were to break, etc. Mr. Taxi Umpire, let's have a good game here today. We're going to reenact the coin toss, all right, just like we did down there. I'm going to flip it. You're going to call it the whole 9 yards of it, all right, sir? Okay? Okay, White called it. It is a tail. White. Bishop McDevitt wins the toss. Excuse me, sir. And they will defer the option. Bishop McDevitt wins and will defer. Burl, kick, receiver, defense. You're going to receive. You must kick. You're going to defend that goal. Turn towards the official, please, all right? Burl's with me. Over here, I'm going to use your shoulder pads, all right, sir, okay? Burl, in blue, will receive, okay? Bishop McDevitt will defend. Let's shake hands and play the game.
I always think going on defense first, especially in weather conditions like this, is not a bad idea, and you get the momentum of knowing you've got the football to start the second half. One of the advantages of winning a coin toss, I think turnovers is obviously going to be a key like it is in any football game, but since these two teams like to throw it around an awful lot, it's going to be even more magnified today.
Well, the wind is going from our left to our right, and so that's going to be a problem here this afternoon. But Bishop McDevitt, which averages 31.6 points a game and is well known for their multiple offenses, is also very well known for an outstanding defense, giving up only 7.6 points a game. They want to get that defense on the field first and make a statement.
Well, we're going to give you a flavor as to what this championship atmosphere is all about here at Mansion Park in Altoona with the playing of our national anthem. Camera action, the championship in boys AA. Jed Donahue along with Gary Sutton. It's great to be along with you on WITF Channel 33 back in the Harrisburg area, bringing you the first of two games. Quad A between Lower Dauphin and Penn Hills will be later, but right now the matter in AA. Gary, you've coached in this situation before. How do you relax your kids to keep them from being tight early?
I think one of the things you do is you walk them out to the field and you show them the field. You say, hey, this is a wide field like we play on. Hey, it's about as wide as we normally play on. Hey, it's about as long as we normally play on. It's a little bit different surface, but it's a field that you're used to getting on. And after the first couple hits, you're going to settle in. It's just another football game. But, boy, it's awfully hard to keep in the back of your mind and keep it out of the back of your mind that it's a state championship and it's your one-time shot maybe in your whole life at a gold medal.
Armando Chilmazo will kick off for Bishop McDevitt. Going deep is going to be Seth Hornack. We're going to call his name an awful lot on defense. He matches up with Rakai Nelson, one of the premier wide receivers in all of Pennsylvania for McDevitt. And also going deep now is going to be Gene Nicastro. He's a wide receiver. Mazza meets it, and we are underway. Mansion Park in Altoona. Castro to the 25, 30, and he's hit right at the 31-yard line. Great special teams coverage by Bishop McDevitt, and that's one thing they really stress during workouts. Scott Koppenhofer, 5'8" sophomore, first man down there.
You saw Chance Carter down there right along with him as the first kickoff of the game here. And quickly to Castro up the field, and quickly the snow here on the field. Not the only thing snowing down is a field of white comes in called Bishop McDevitt.
We walked the field beforehand, not as slippery as you would think. This turf has really held up well throughout the snow and some of the ice. Second man through. It's going to be the big fullback. Nope. It's going to be the quarterback, Horwath. And he tell you, he's really nice play action look there for a gain of 7 or 8. Fooled us up here entirely.
Kevin Horwath, a kid that knows what he's doing. He's running that run and shoot offense. I heard a coach describe the run and shoot offense the other day like this, Jed. And here it is. You can see Horwath just taking the ball and then running around the side himself. You know, he said, if my quarterback runs, I'll shoot him. That's the run and shoot offense by most coaches in high school football. He said, this year we plan to run and shoot. Next year we plan to run and score. This team can run and score in a hurry.
John Horwath, the lone setback behind Kevin Horwath, brother to brother. Horwath goes right through, nowhere to go, and he is smashed by Don Painter. Don Painter had a sensational game a week ago against Lansdale Catholic, 6'5", 240-pounder. Let's go back to the beginning of that game. Fort Chapman head coach suspends 19 players, sits them out a quarter because they missed a pregame meal. He says it brought them together. It's behind them. Here they are today.
You talk about how championship teams get to the field. They get here by what they do off the field. He disciplined those people. They came together hard this week and ready to play the game this afternoon.
3rd and 3, as you see right there, opening minute and a half of the first quarter in the championship in AA. Horwath back to pass, throws, ball is tipped into the air and incomplete. Drew Painter got a hand on it, and Bishop McDevitt holds on 3rd and 3, and I'll tell you, that's a big play right there.
Horwath looking downfield for Seth Hornack. Similar name, not anywhere close. 59 receptions this year, but a great hand up in the air that time. Drew Painter playing another game of his life here this week as he picks up where he left off last week to get him here to the final.
And here's where Bishop McDevitt can really hurt you on special teams. Speed, well, speed always comes, and speed creates your own opportunities. Man to watch for is Rakai Nelson. Fumbled snap momentarily, end over end, fielded by Jordan Scott. 30. Scott winds his way across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Hit and drop downfield by Charles Post. Also there was Ryan Dunmeyer, 6'3", 160-pound junior.
Here you'll see Scott picking it up and heading right back outfield, carrying it like a loaf of bread here for a moment. Most coaches like you to have it a little tighter to your body than that, but finally gets good field position out to the 37-yard line.
One thing Tom Henderson said about preparing for Bishop McDevitt is you look at the punt return one more time. He says, yes, we play teams with speed. Yes, we play teams with size. We've never played one with this combination. In motion goes Rakai Nelson as we take you back to live action. Jordan Scott, who's had a sensational year at quarterback for the Crusaders. Handoff, big hole up the middle for Tommy Mealy, all the way down to the 46. Close to McDevitt, first down, a gain of 9. Average yards on first down. Big stat to look for, running behind big Corey Deibler that time. He had a huge hole up front.
Well, here you see Tommy Mealy, 1,046 yards coming to this game, and you can see why as he bursts through the left side for a quick opener. 16 touchdowns for Mealy this year. He averages 4.9 every time he touches the football. He does a little better than that on this one. Big hole opens up on the left side. You could have driven a truck through.
Well, they pinched it tight. Power I formation. Staffaroni, the fullback. Mealy again. Big hole again across midfield all the way down to the Borough 47-yard line. And another gain of 6 or 7 for Tommy Mealy, running strong out of the eye.
This is going to be a major factor this afternoon. 258-pound line that Mealy's running behind, over less than an average of 200 on the line on the other side for Burrow. And you can see Mealy making big headway so far as that line is pushing out 2 and 3 yards before Mealy even gets to the line of scrimmage.
McDevitt, known as a throwing team, used the power I, though, to pull out the Eastern final against Lansdale Catholic a week ago, driving 60 yards in the final minute and 23. Mealy, the lone setback. He gets it again, not that time. He is stamped down and put out by P.J. Butterbaugh, 5'10", 180-pounder, and somebody missed an assignment up front because he just exploded through there.
P.J. Butterbaugh says, hey, we might be small, but we're quick and we're awful tough, and this team is not lacking at all in courage. You'll see why right here. Look at Butterbaugh. Bring him down right away. He never had a chance to get started, did Mealy, and that brings a little bit of a loss to play. Second down coming up 13 yards.
He just explodes right through there. Gary mentioned a loss of 3. Ball back right at midfield. Might see our first throw here. Matchup to watch is for Kai Nelson going in motion against John Horwath, or Seth Hornak, rather. Handoff, second man through, big hole. This is a Johnny Walton, and a Johnny Walton's back into Burrell territory. Positive yardage all the way up to about the 43-yard line. A gain of 7.
Johnny Walton, another of the fleet-footed running backs. You'll see him here round the outside. Little student body left that time. 88 carries in the year for 520 yards and 5 TDs. He averages 6 yards a carry and does his job there, getting them back down to 3rd down and 5.
Walton, a 6-foot, 170-pound junior. He'll be the featured guy next year. 8:35 to go in the opening quarter. McDevitt on their initial possession at the Burrell 43-yard line. Anxious moments. Burrell showing blitz. Scott, long cadence. Pitch goes to Ely again. Big hole, 35. He's got the 30 and a first down to the Burrell 28-yard line. And a Johnny Walton running well for positive yardage, a gain of 14.
And you can see the strategy right here. All Chapman wants to do right now is show that the powerful line can push off the other, and you're getting it every time as it's thrown out to Walton. Little student body right this time, and Walton just rounds the corner. Big pickup of 14 yards of the play, and another Bishop McDevitt first down.
Staffaroni, the fullback, out in front. Also a big block by Don Painter, pulling out of the guard position that time. Power I formation. Johnny Walton will join Mealy. Scott under center. Handoff quickly to Mealy. Scott on a keeper. He pulled it right back out of there and got to the 29-yard line. Probably a good thing he did, because Jason Gregg and Justin Shantz were forcing the issue up front for the Buccaneers.
Gregg is really the powerhouse on that front line out of his tackle spot, and he and Shantz both smelled the play out immediately. Good ball handling by Scott, but not good enough to get away from the twosome that time, and no gain on the play. In fact, a gain of maybe 1 yard on the play. It'll be second down, call it 9.
At the 29 of Burrell. Again, Walton. Now Scott going to throw it for the first time out to Nelson. Nelson trying to break a tackle. Does to the 26. That was great effort right there by Rakai Nelson. Just about everybody is looking at him on the Division I level. Penn State, Notre Dame, Pitt, and pick anybody else from there. And you'll see why. When he gets into the open field, anything can happen.
Well, this is a play where it looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss. He actually makes this into a gain. One-on-one. What an athlete. 65 receptions on the year. 1,187 yards, and he averages 16.7 normally every catch, Jet.
For Chapman, very involved. He motions every play in. Right now, he's looking to bring one in that's going to convert 3rd and 7. Nelson in motion. Going close to your screen. Scott rolling, looking. Waggle, look downfield, has a man, and incomplete. Khalil Nash, the tight end, was open. Just a little bit behind him. You might see McDevitt go on 4th and 7 here.
That time throwing into a little bit of a tough wind coming up the field as Nash made his move across. Scott trying to buy some time. You'll see him out here on the play action pass. Looking. Nash makes his move to the middle of the field at the tight end spot. And now the ball thrown just slightly behind as Nash, the big guy, not able to reach back and pick it off. Take a look at it again from a different angle here. You'll see him coming. Jordan Scott looking. Nice job rolling out. I think he thought about running just at the last moment. He sees Nash open and throws behind.
McDevitt going with a no huddle. Back to live action. There you see it. 4th and 7. 7:29 to go. Scott rolling, looking. Blitz is coming. Now they flush it out. They've got Walton. Walton, big hole. First down, 20. 15. Walton down to the Burrell 9-yard line. They'll mark it out at the 10, but a gain of 16 and a McDevitt first down. That screen was set up beautifully.
Jed, so tough to play a multiple defensive team like Bishop McDevitt because they have so much in the pocketbook to throw out. You see the reverse screen here that time is just thrown outside to a Johnny Walton, and here he goes again. He's a jet when he gets the ball, and he's heading south with it here as he gets inside the 20, inside the 15, and finally dives near the 10-yard line.
The screen becomes more effective, and it is accentuated when you get over pursuit defensively. Back to live action, full house. Hand off Mealy, stutter, step move, Mealy, touchdown, Bishop McDevitt. He goes in from 10 yards. Deibler flew a big block up front as well as Fulgeric, and I mean McDevitt dominated on that particular series.
10 plays, and you see what happens at the end of it. You can see Mealy just a simple handoff and straight ahead, and watch the power at the end of the play. He carries 2 guys into the end zone with him.
Corey Deibler, Don Painter, Fulgeric blew it wide open.
10 plays, 63 yards it covers, and Bishop McDevitt is on the board first here in the AA state championship game.
Converting 4th down. Let's have a look at it from up top. Here's Tommy Mealy.
Combination of speed and power. You heard us talk about it, and Tom Henderson worried about it. And 2 guys taken into the end zone by the power, and the whole line fooled by the speed right at the line of scrimmage.
Bill Siebert is on for the conversion. Jordan Scott to hold. McDevitt leading 6-0. Snap is down. Kick is blocked by Burrow. Those can come back and haunt you later. 7 minutes, 15 seconds remain in the opening quarter. And there it is. Bishop McDevitt on their initial possession of the football game. Drives down in 10 plays and takes the early lead.
We know this is a special teams for McDevitt that is not very good. If they have a weakness in their program, it's on the offensive special teams. And we saw it right there on the extra point effort as they come away with the 6 points. But it always just lets a little bit of air out of your sails when you miss the extra point to dot the I.
Well, it's 28 degrees, but for some, it doesn't really matter. Going to look at the touchdown again from the end zone, and you'll see exactly what we mean about their up-front play.
Just a great hole opened up again by that front line, as Mealy had nothing to do but get to the hole, and then he used his own power to carry people into the end zone. And Bishop McDevitt, which averages 31.6 points a game, is on the board first here in Altoona.
Bishop McDevitt used to play in AAA. They dropped down to AA a couple of years ago. Last year got upset by Cocalico in the District 3 playoffs. This year they got through Cocalico. And here they are today in Altoona playing for it all.
Ford Chapman has a sign hanging in his office. Altoona is beautiful in December. It's been hanging there all year. And I don't know if it's as beautiful as he might think it is, but I guess today for Bishop McDevitt it's been beautiful so far.
High spiraling kick is going to be fielded by Nick Castro. And he is going to be hit, dropped, nowhere to go, back at the 23-yard line. Initial hit made by Bishop McDevitt's Ernie Chris, 5'11", 180-pound junior. Again, special teams may not get the extra point, but what pursuit they've had.
Yeah, the defensive side of the special teams gets it done as Mike Eisman finishes off the tackle after the man slowed down. And here you see him coming upfield. You have a fired-up team, and so many times you'll see this. The offensive enthusiasm transfers to the defense. Now watch Eisman come in and finishes off the special teams play.
Well, it's still early, but you want to think this is a big possession for Burl as they try to get back in it. Kevin Horwath, the quarterback. 3 wide receiver look now for the Buccaneers. Handoff, second man through. Big hole this time. This is Kevin Horwath. He's got a first down. Make it Seth Hornack to the 42-yard line.
Little counter give that time to Horwath. He faked it to the other side, split it, and then Horwath came right back across. Here's the fake going the other way, and now here it comes. The counter right back. Horwath has it for an 18-yard run. And watch this. Good move to the middle. And finally pulled down there by Bishop McDevitt's Kenny Borelli.
6:35 to go. We're in the opening quarter. The ball at the 42. Second possession for Burl as they trail 6-0. That was a nice run that time by Hornack for the first down. 18 yards total. Horwath throws, has a man. This is Hornack again across midfield. Has the first down. Maybe a half-yard short on the spot to the McDevitt 49. A gain of 8.
If you like aerial wizardry, you like this game this afternoon, and here you see it. Horwath airing it out right away. Gets it to the outside very quickly, and then off to the races goes his favorite receiver, Mr. Hornack. And Hornack on the year with 56 catches. He has been outstanding. He averages about 16 yards a catch as well.
That shows you, because he's coming out of the backfield, exactly what kind of damage he can do. Because he's taking screen passes. It is now second down. We'll call it 1 at the McDevitt 49. Burrow trying to climb back in. Little quarterback keeper that time by Kevin Horwath for the first down. Nothing fancy about that. Just keep the chains moving.
No safer play in the game than the quarterback just hanging on and surging forward. You'll see it right here. Horwath, a big guy, knows what to do as he leans forward and says that'll be enough. And a first down again for Burl, who is driving themselves into Bishop McDevitt territory.
On average, you don't want to make too much of the weight issue, but Burl's offensive line giving up about 30 or 40 pounds per man. The burlier side is on the McDevitt line, where those guys are going about 250, 260. Ball at the 47-yard line. Handoff. This is going to be Hornack, and he's got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Drew Painter is there for Bishop McDevitt, and I mean, they were all over him. Todd Mealy as well.
Well, Michael Eisman slows him down initially here and then allows the rest of the Bishop McDevitt defense to pick him off. Watch Eisman get back here. He'll get a hand in underneath there, slows him up just enough that the rest of the defense can finish him off at the line of scrimmage.
Eisman, you saw him finish off a play on special teams moments ago. This is only a sophomore right here. Stay at home, keep him in front, get help from your friends. That's what happened there at second down and 11. 5:21 to go in the opening quarter. McDevitt with a 6-0 lead. Horwath back, quick drop, throws. Incomplete for Hornack. Good coverage downfield that time by Bishop McDevitt. Scott Updike was there, 6'1" senior. Now they're facing 3rd and long, and this is where McDevitt loves to have the situation.
We talk about the double H combination, Kevin Horwath to Seth Hornak, and those two guys have hooked up 59 times during the course of the season, but not so that time. They like that little out pattern. After Hornak, Nicastro has only 21 receptions, and DeVore has 15, so no question about who Horwath loves to throw to, and his name is Hornak.
Matt Paga is into the ball game. He's a tight end. Gene Nicastro is probably their best downfield receiver. Horwath throws now. Has a man out there. It's Seth Hornak, the big fullback, and he's short of a first down to about the 39-yard line. And Tom Henderson faces his first big decision at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, whether or not to go on 4th and 3.
Well, his favorite receiver again for reception number 60 this season, as he finds Hornak out there. It's a little pass, and then they try to let the guy use his athletic ability to surge forward. This time not very far to go for Hornak, but still brings up a 4th down and 3. Horwath, a solid quarterback, going back and looking for one man, and there he finds him. Seth Hornak out in the flat.
Tom Rizak is on to punt, so Tom Henderson answered our question. He says, let's create some field position. Devitt will try and set up Jordan Scott for the return. Nice high, booming punt. Drive Scott back to a 7-yard line. Scott looking for room to go, and he is going to be waved under an undertow, make it a face mask penalty against Burrow. Well, they had great coverage downfield and then grabbed the mask. That could be a 15-yarder.
Well, Jordan Scott looked like he might have been a good candidate for the Arthur Murray Studios there, as he was trying to dance around and find a place to go. Wasn't any place, but he is going to be the beneficiary here of, I believe, a face mask penalty. Watch, right there it is. You can see the face mask. Great job by our WITF camera crew again. Face mask called there on Burrow. And it's going to be called on number 67, Dave Vassar.
Vassar's the center on offense, and it's going to be a big 15-yarder, so that field position.
The foul is personal foul, face mask on the blue during the run back of the punt, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down, White.
At the 24-yard line. McDevitt with their second possession. Sometimes they go no huddle. 4:15 to go. McDevitt leading 6-0. Fullback in there is Koppenheffer. Back goes Scott to look, throws, as a man, it's Nelson, and it is broken up beautifully by Gene Nicastro that time. Well, they're going to have double coverage on Rakai Nelson. You don't put up numbers like him and stay a secret for real long, especially as doing it in their 3rd year. He's over 1,000 yards 2 years in a row, and he is Jordan Scott's favorite target.
Well, normally Nelson could do the magical, but right here awfully hard as Nicastro just strips him. This is a team that has 44 interceptions. Burrow this year, almost unbelievable.
Dave McKenzie is on as a wide receiver. The lone setback is Tommy Mealy. Back goes Scott again. Play action looking. Scott can run. This time is in huge trouble. Gets out of it at the 30. Scott still alive to the 35, and a McDevitt first down. That was all Jordan Scott. And he even jumps over the bench for good measure. A gain of 12, and he had no business getting anything.
And then heads over and plays in the snow pile as well. Jordan Scott dancing his way out of trouble. There's one hit. Now watch this. He breaks away. A second hit right here. Scott showing some real perseverance as he heads near the sideline. Now tries to get to the corner. And finally the third hit's going to force him out of bounds. And he shows you a little athleticism as he leaps over the bench into the snow pile.
Back to live action with 3:52 to go. McDevitt, second possession with a 6-point lead. Looking for their first championship in Double-A. Pitch back goes Rakai Nelson. He's got some blocking to the outside, 40. And positive yardage to the 44-yard line, and you just kind of hold your breath every time he gets the football. And Fort Chapman says they want him to touch the ball at least 10 to 15 times a game. How do you do it? You get him involved this way.
Rakai Nelson gets the football here and heads around the near side, and that big front line blowing some holes for him. Look at that. You can go through there all day as Nelson gets him down near first down yardage again. They might come up about 2 yards short. Here comes again. Around the near side, Rakai Nelson sees his hole, heads for it quickly, and blows through there, gets him down near the first down.
Nelson has good size at 6'1", 180 pounds, about a 4'3", 4'4" man. Hand off Tommy Mealy, boom, big hole up near midfield into McDevitt. First down to the 49-yard line, a gain of 6 more.
Just an array of weapons, an arsenal of weapons that Bishop McDevitt throws you at. They give you Mealy up the middle. They give you Nelson around the end. And here you see Mealy giving you that little special burst of speed and power. And he gets the first down again for Bishop McDevitt, which is on the march on their second possession of the game.
Todd Rombach, 6'3", 260 pounds. He's a senior. And that's where they really wanted to control the line of scrimmage. Khalil Nash, the tight end, a junior, 6'4", 250. In motion is Dave McKenzie for the Crusaders as they are on the march again. Handoff Mealy. Mealy is slammed at the 48-yard line. He is walloped by Jason Carpenter, senior outside linebacker.
Jason Carpenter, 5'9", 170, is another example of the way this team tackles. They might be small, but watch the tackling. Sure-handed tackling as he just puts the man on the back that time, and Mealy comes up and says, didn't get my usual 5 yards that particular time, so we have a timeout on the field.
Burl again wanting to make adjustments, and I think this is more of a timeout to give their defense a little bit of a rest. As you look at Chapman, we're in the hotel with all the McDevitt fans. They're just flat out excited about the way things have been going. And it's great to be sending it back to the Harrisburg area in Lancaster, York, Lebanon on WITF Channel 33, public television station there. And we'll have another game later today at 5 o'clock. Lower Dauphin against nationally ranked Penn Hills. Bishop McDevitt, though, 14-0 on the season, leading 6-0. And I'll tell you what, Gary, they have just been most impressive in this postseason run. Last week, had to get through a pretty good Lansdale Catholic outfit to win 12-6. But again, look at the touchdown. This is where it's going to be won today up front. Watch Deibler sweep it clean.
And then Mealy finished it off in the end zone. Deibler blows the hole. Mealy finishes it off. And that's where we are right now, 6-0, Bishop McDevitt with the football.
At the Borough 48-yard line. Nelson in motion. The pitch back goes to Mealy again. Check that. This is Walton to the 42-yard line. Johnny Walton, 6', 170-pounder. They have so many weapons, they're hard to keep track of. They look alike. Walton a little taller. But that time, Coffey quick through the right hole, set up by Deibler again, and watch some fresh legs here.
Mealy north and south, and then you have Walton east and west, and here comes Walton to the western side as he comes student body right one more time, gets in behind the blocking, and again, another big pickup, 3rd down and 1 yard to go.
And you get the feeling that McDevitt would go 4 downs anytime they cross midfield. They are at the 42-yard line. Into the game quickly is Drew Painter. He will stand in front of Mealy. Back goes Scott to throw. Scott under heavy pressure, flushed out of that. Still looking. Scott dances around, first down to the 39-yard line. That has to be a frustrating experience for the Burrell defense. They had him for a big loss a couple of plays ago. He picks up 12. Here they had him for a big loss. Gets 2 and a first down.
How to make something out of nothing. What do you do when you're a great athlete? Watch this. You dodge one tackle. You look things over. No possibilities there, huh? Okay, well, I'll come near side and try to dance my way around the end, and that's exactly what Jordan Scott does and picks up a big first down for a team that doesn't like to punt very often on 4th down. Only 21 punts all season in 14 games.
Tommy Mealy is back in. He is the lone setback behind Jordan Scott. Dave McKenzie and Rakai Nelson will line up to the top of your screen as Scott goes back again. Looks, has McKenzie. Can't get out of the grasp. That time, ball is loose and out of bounds. Good coverage by Bill Ream that time for Burrell. Dave McKenzie tried to turn around on him, and just a super play by Bill Ream, the cornerback.
Well, you see Scott's pass all the way over to McKenzie, but it took a long time to get there, allowed the defense a chance to adjust and get over there, then strip McKenzie away, and the ball rolls safely out of bounds if you're a Bishop McDevitt fan. And we come back to live action here. Bishop McDevitt, 2nd down and 9 yards to go. This is the 9th play of this drive.
Even though you can't see it on your screen, there's kind of a misty mix, if you will, frozen mixture. Delayed handoff. This is going to be Spencer Walters, and he's got it inside the 30 to the 20-yard line as Waters has positive yardage, and he's close to another McDevitt first down.
Just when you think you've smelled out all their plays, they give you a little wraparound look here as Scott steps back, wraps it around, and says, here you go, Spencer, take off. And Waters takes off and gets another first down here for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, who are on a crusade right now to get a 2nd touchdown. 10th play of this drive.
No relation to their most famous alum, Ricky Waters. He's Waters with 1 T, not 2, like Ricky with the Eagles. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. We're in the first quarter. McDevitt driving again. Handoff. This is it. Johnny Walton. He's run well. Walton still alive to the 20-yard line, and a gain of 7 more. Johnny Walton, a 6', 170-pound junior. And again, you talk about manly running. You go tackle to tackle, lane blocking that time. And there you see Deibler. He was the guy that blew it open again.
And this time we'll let you see him coming at you. You get to see what Burrell sees every single time. Those big hawks bruising out the big holes. And here he comes one more time at Johnny Walton.
Spoljaric, also Don Painter. This line, and you know, McDevitt, if you can believe this, they say they have not played up totally to their potential, have put it all together in one football game. They hope today is it. So far, most impressive, big hole Mealy as he slams forward to about the 13-yard line. Another gain of 7 and a McDevitt first down.
I think Mealy just tripped over Spoljaric's foot that time as he tried to burst forward. He had 6. Watch this. Mealy burst through the line. Now watch him just trip. All right, he tripped right over his man's foot there. It was Spoljaric, or he'd have been in the end zone again.
That's the 9th first down for Bishop McDevitt as they're just going to let the quarter run out. 6-0, and they are on the march again down at the 13-yard line of Pearl in a most impressive opening 12-minute act for the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt. Timeout on the field. Our score, Bishop McDevitt 6, Pearl nothing. Back with more after this timeout. Nine first downs in that opening quarter.
The PIAA Football Championships is made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Hershey Park, presenting the Wildcat, the new wooden roller coaster for '96. PNC Bank, serving 13 counties in central Pennsylvania. PNC Bank is your kind of bank, a quality bank for a lifetime. RMA Construction Company, providing quality commercial construction, and proud to support PIAA football in central Pennsylvania. Shadler Brothers Incorporated, specializing in lighting, electrical supplies, industrial automation, and premise networking, serving central Pennsylvania for over 70 years. Alex R. Zales Incorporated, committed to quality restoration of fire and water damaged commercial and residential properties. And Warner Chrysler Plymouth, proud to support the Lower Dauphin Falcons in the PIAA Football Championships.
This is great. It's so much fun to be watching this show with you. I'm Donna Appadoni. This is, what's your name again? Tom Keck. We are ready, and we are hoping that Bishop McDevitt is going to do it this afternoon. We've got the outfits on here. We are ready, and we're cheering with you here at WITF. Now, I do want to point out that since we're doing fundraising this week, we're very happy to be able to bring you this PIAA championship game. But we're still fundraising, and we would have had a goal of 30 memberships for this portion of the afternoon that our game is in right now. So we still want to hear from you at 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF.
And WITF is very proud to be able to bring you this Bishop McDevitt game this afternoon. Even if you're not a McDevitt fan, everybody is caught up in the excitement. And why don't you call in that pledge of support? And now it's time to get back to Altoona.
But not before we say, go Bishop McDevitt.
Yes.
Do it.
Mansion Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Championship weekend. Pleasure to have everybody watching on WITF Channel 33. Bishop McDevitt in the AA final for the first time. The East has split the opening 2 meetings with the West. Last year, the East went 3-1. Today, they're looking for a mid-state sweep in District 3. Bishop McDevitt has it at the 13-yard line. Big hole for Mealy. Mealy's got another touchdown, and Bishop McDevitt is in control again. Mealy to the pylon easily that time. Spoljaric sprung it at the line of scrimmage.
Little celebration on the far side. Mealy with 7 carries, 44 yards, 2 touchdowns, and here he comes again. Look at the move right there, and it gives you a little juke and loses you. Hornick tried to get him. No one had a chance. Into the end zone. Second touchdown for Tommy Mealy.
Let's talk Rocco Cangelosi as well. 6'3", 280-pound junior. He had a lot to do with that. McDevitt will go for 2. Well, 4 seconds have gone by in the second quarter, and Bishop McDevitt with a 12-0 lead.
And a 12-play, 76-yard drive from McDevitt. They kept that defense for Burl out there and just bruised them for the second touchdown.
Power I is what got them here. That's how they beat Lansdale Catholic. They just ran it right down their throat when it counted before Jordan Scott found Khalil Nash for the winning touchdown pass. Right now they're going for the 2-point conversion. Scott throws across, got it, Nelson, good. 14-0 Bishop McDevitt. That was well set up. What you do is you look one way and you get Nelson in the back of the end zone, and Bishop McDevitt is pushing all of the right buttons right now.
When Jordan Scott starts to run, it freezes the linebackers. You see the linebackers have to come up right here to stay, and now Jordan Scott just looks back, finds his man in the end zone, and a perfect strike for the 2-point conversion as he finds who else? Rakai Nelson right in the back of the end zone. And here you'll see it again, coming at it from Rakai's look. Hey, couldn't throw it any better as he puts it right in the numbers.
Well, he threw for 2,200 yards, had 25 touchdown passes on the year, so he knows what to do when he's going into the painted area. It's 14-0 McDevitt. And, you know, Fort Chapman, I think, said something compelling when we were talking to him. He says, yes, we want the gold medal for Bishop McDevitt, but he goes, he's treating this as a Harrisburg against Pittsburgh type of game today. He says he's for the pride of the Mid-Penn Conference, which is one of the great leagues in the state. We know about it in our particular area, Gary, but the rest of the state is beginning to really catch on that Bishop McDevitt comes from one of the premier leagues in the state.
Well, a team that has played 8 4A schools during the course of the year just by playing in their league.
You can see how ready they have been. They thought that might be a big key. Nicastro now for Pearl through the 25 and then gang tackling. Boy, he worked his way to the 30-yard line of the 31. It looked like a rugby scrum. He just kept his feet in the tires, kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and got 5 extra yards out of it, and Pearl will go back on offense.
Well, if you think it's hard to meet people, watch Nicastro here, because you're going to meet a lot of them in a hurry as he gets to the center of the field here and gets to meet the Bishop McDevitt team up close and personal. But no shortage of leg power there, as Nicastro says, like Rocky style, I'm not going down.
1st and 10 for Pearl, their 3rd possession, and needless to say, it's a big one. You don't want to go 3 and out and let McDevitt go back on offense where they have dominated thus far. The quarterback is Kevin Horwath. He's a junior, 5'10", going to throw it out real quick this time for Mike Mills. Mills, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Todd Mealy is the one standing up off the stack. The tackle for McDevitt, a gain of 1.5 yards.
Jed, much like Bishop McDevitt, you'll see a lot of different formations out of the run and shoot. That time, the 3 receivers, what they like to call trips to the outside, and they got the quick pass out there. They're used to getting that and then letting the man go one-on-one. That time, nowhere to hide.
Well, for Pearl, the novelty's off. McDevitt, their defense practices against a run and shoot because that's kind of what they do in this multiple offense. So Pearl's going to have to throw some different things. There's Hornack, the fullback, met head-on by a fired-up Todd Mealy. Well, his brother Tommy's got 2 touchdowns, and Todd's hoping to give it back to his brother maybe for another turn.
Here you see Todd Mealy and Chance Carter coming together to tie this play up as Carter come in for support. Mealy right on top of it, and it's almost like Bishop McDevitt has read the playbook for Burl. They've got everything spelled out so far this early point of the game.
Well, if you're Tom Henderson and you drew up a nightmare, 3rd and 9's one of them. They've had 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, and 3rd and 9. They've converted once. They need 2 here. They trail 14-0. Back goes Horwath, rolling, looking under the gun now. Slips out of that, still looking, now throws it downfield, and it is almost intercepted. I believe it was Pratt. Rakai Nelson checked that. It was Jacoby Pittman. Well, Jacoby Pittman wanted the interception, but it skipped in front of him.
Well, Jacoby Pittman got out there, and you'll see the pass. Horwath coming out again. Receivers covered all the way downfield. He continues to look on the play action here. Looking, trying to roll out, trying to get away. Doesn't want to run it. And finally, he's going to let it fly under pressure. And Jacoby Pittman takes it right off the turf. Great effort, but you can see him come up with it off the turf on 1 bounce.
Well, the way things have looked, Gary, you always wondered what a quad A team would look like in a double A game. So far, McDevitt's giving us a look on that. This is going to be Jordan Scott. He's a quarterback. He's been slippery, but not that time, to the 36-yard line. And he hit a blue wall and was thundered down there. And on the tackle first was Mike Mills.
If Jordan Scott has a fault, he might wait around a little bit too long before he starts to head north.
Flag down there, Gary.
And you can see the flag line down in front of him here. Take a look at this last pass from Horwath. You'll get a good angle here by our camera crew of exactly what it looked like down there as the pass thrown downfield, the dive for the play, and it's off the turf. He picks it up. Nice work again by the WITF camera crew.
Well, Don Pater, Lansdale Catholic didn't have an answer. I mean, he was in the backfield all night long in the Eastern Final, and more of same today in Altoona. It's great having you along, WITF Channel 33. Public television station throughout the mid-state. We will be on again at 5 today for Lower Dauphin and Penn Hills.
Well, the holding penalty there will take the ball back, and it'll start at the 20-yard line for Bishop McDevitt on their 3rd possession of the football game. The first 2 have been goals.
Drew Painter will stand in front of Tommy Mealy, who's in the eye. Mealy's got a big hole to the 23-yard line as he falls forward.
They continue to mix it up, pounding the middle with Mealy, coming to the outside with the Johnny, and every time Mealy hits it, He's good for positive yardage so far today as he picks up a couple real quick here. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
See Todd Rombach moving around out of his tackle position, 6'3", 260-pounder. Gain of 3 on the play for Mealy. Now into the game is Johnny Walton. He has run well in this opening half. McDevitt leading 14-0. Scott, little quick hitter now for Nelson. 2 men to beat. Nelson slices his way to the 28-yard line.
Lakai Nelson, one of the top receiving prospects in the country, comes into this game this afternoon with 65 receptions. When he gets out there one-on-one, he is a scary sight for defense. You'll see Lakai get the ball here. Gives you that little bit of a juke, trying to get away, and picks up a few positive yards again as he gets the ball out near the 30-yard line and near 1st down yardage.
That's a great matchup on the field. Seth Hornack, who we've called a lot as a fullback, 11 interceptions. Burrow on the year with 44 INTs, and that's been one of the reasons why they're 13-1.
Very opportunistic team is Burrow.
And off, this is going to be Mealy again for the 1st down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Nothing fancy about that. They just ran right behind big Corey Deibler, and also Rocco Cangelosi.
So far, conversions this afternoon, 4 third-down conversions for Bishop McDevitt, and 3 out of 4. That's pretty good, 75%. You'll take that number just about any time, won't you, Jed?
Well, their average yards on 1st down, Gary, have been 6, 7 yards. This is one where they had to slug their way on convert 3rd down for a change. Down to 8:53 to go. Nelson in motion for Bishop McDevitt. They are in control, leading 14-0. Scott rolling, looking, throws, has a man, and it's McKenzie incomplete. Well, Scott had to force the issue that time. He felt some pressure for the first time.
Really, the only thing he's done wrong all day to this point, he's been literally perfect running that factory, which is called the Bishop McDevitt offense. You'll see him here. He steps back, looks for his receiver to the outside. That's going to be McKenzie. Usually his secondary receiver when he's not looking for Nelson. And this time just throws a little bit wide, trying to throw away from the defensive side.
Well, you saw Fort Chapman go kind of a reverse to get Nelson involved in the offense because he is facing double coverage today. Bill Ream and also Seth Hornack. They bottled him up pretty well thus far. Brian Rahasik is into the ball game. Nelson goes in motion. McDevitt facing 2nd and 10. Back goes Scott again. He can run out of the pocket, this time directing traffic, and throws incomplete for Tommy Mealy. Excellent coverage downfield that time by the Burrell defense.
This is a Burrell defense that has 44 interceptions for the year, 25 fumble recoveries. Very opportunistic, as you see Fort Chapman on the side there. You want to talk about intensity, you could put his picture in the dictionary next to the word, and you'd have a good definition.
Well, I knew his dad, Harry. Chapman Field at Cumberland Valley is named after him, and he brings a lot of that particular preparation to the table. He says 90% of what he does as far as getting ready on game day is a result of what he learned from his father. Where's the beach for the Burrow coaching staff over there? The guy in shorts. That is a bit nippy for that kind of look. Scott. He is going to be hit from behind, and it's going to be 4th down, and a big stand that time by the Burrell defense. Jason Gregg in on the stop for the Buccaneers.
Jason Gregg, a 6'1", 190-pound senior, and he is the foundation on which his defense is built. You want to talk about quick? Watch this. Pulling down a very quick Jordan Scott from behind as something rare here. You're going to see a punt situation for Bishop McDevitt. Maybe.
Only the 22nd time, we think. And they're going to call timeout and think about it because they're not used to that sort of thing. We have 8:05 to go here in the 1st half. We're in the 2nd quarter. Bishop McDevitt is leading 14-0 and is certainly in control. For those of you who want to relive some of the fabulous moments from the PIAA State Championships in Altoona, you can write to the PIAA at 550 Gettysburg Road, P.O. Box 2008, Mechanicsburg, zip 17055, or call in the Harrisburg area, 717-697-0374, or toll free at 1-800-382-1392, or even by fax at area code 717-697-7721. Visa and MasterCard are accepted, so get your tape today.
Now you look at McDevitt, most teams at the 25-yard line, or the 32-yard line, rather, would never think twice about the punting. And when you have blocking like you see here up front, you very seldom ever think about the punting. But for McDevitt, it's a thought. They don't punt the ball that well, but now you're going to see a man jump into the game. Mike Eisman's going to kick it away.
High snap, and it's blocked. Burrow got it. Justin Chance, and it's recovered and down to the 20-yard line. Footer ball recovered. Jason Gregg on the block.
And P.J. Buterball on the recovery as Gregg got in one more time. He has been fabulous this afternoon from his defensive tackle spot. Watch this. The big paw of Jason Gregg puts it up there. Right hand, you'll see him knock it away. And then P.J. Buterball jumps on top of it, and all of a sudden, momentum has turned. It's wearing a blue and white uniform.
This is where Burrow must convert. 7:55 to go. This is where they get you and where they live.
You can see why Bishop McDevitt doesn't punt very often.
Kevin Horwath, the quarterback. He hasn't done a whole lot yet. Reverse, this is Hornak. He's the fullback, nowhere to go, and he's going to be whipped down at the 25-yard line. Corey Deibler is there, along with Mark Staffaroni.
Corey Deibler, a 6'3", 260-pound defensive tackle, never left his spot. He stayed disciplined and watched the counter. And there's Deibler waiting for him on that side as he just jumps out and yanks down Hornak from the side. Here he comes. Bang. Comes together, and Hornak put away. We have a man down on the field for the moment, and it is Hornak.
Well, that field is cold, and it's tough to handle sometimes.
Field's been here, by the way, for 10 years. You know, the artificial turf gets an awful bad rap. When you go down on this field, it's got a lot of good cushioning underneath it. It's different from anything you walk on. It's got about 5 more years of life before they replace it.
And here's what a block punt on the carpet looks like. Look at Gregg get his hand in the air.
Where quickness can sometimes be lethal, and that time for Burrow, they did a great job of getting it. It's a team that's very opportunistic. We talked about it. They have 9 block punts this year. That was number 10, and they did a great job of Buterball getting on top and recovering it as well.
Seth Hornak, this would be a big-time injury. He is their best cover guy defensively, and he's also a very key cog on their offense, and here's his dilemma.
You'll see Hornak push back. Now watch the leg here as the leg pushed back a little bit on the right side. Landed on by Deibler, and that's what they're looking at right now is Hornak just sitting down on the field. Doesn't appear to be in a lot of pain, but he obviously is being looked at. And they're also showing his left hand now. Okay, looked like his ankle when we first saw him go down, but actually I guess putting his hand down trying to break his fall, his left hand may have gotten hurt.
Drew Painter was in on the stop as well. Painter's a big kid at 6'4". This is good to see because Hornak is there.
Kevin Horwath, by the way, so far, quarterback, 3 of 7 passing for 17 yards, make it 18 yards. And not exactly a sterling day as you see the somewhat summer-clad Burrow coaching staff on the sideline.
7 minutes and 10 seconds to go. That is not me today, I can tell you that. Ball at the 22-yard line as a result of the block punt. Horwath rolling, looking, under the gun. He's going to be hit, dropped back for a huge loss at the 35-yard line by Mike Eisman.
Mike Eisman is the Ice Band today. The Ice Band cometh that time as Eisman came in, and watch this. No question about what's going to happen in this play as Eisman uses his speed to just track down Horwath and then just put him away on a big tackle for Bishop McDevitt.
Eisman is only a sophomore. He's part of the big future for Bishop McDevitt. They rebuilt this program, and before Chapman took over, they were 2-9. Here's one of the reasons they're playing in a state championship.
Well, they say as a defensive player, go right at the man, and you'll get him every time. And Horwath had nowhere to go, and Eisman did nothing more than just throw him to the ground.
3rd and 22 from the 33. This drive started at the 20. Pitch and go, and there's Deibler. Ball is loose, and they say he was down at about the 39-yard line, and Horwath is hurt. Deibler exploded in backside.
And Horwath's in some serious pain here. As you'll see him step back, Deibler charges in from the outside. Horwath tried to fake it, look downfield, and Deibler just put him away quickly. And he came down. You can see the knee there. Came down on the knee, and this time it is the right knee that they're looking at on Kevin Horwath. And you can see here, watch again, slow motion. They come down, there's the knee. And you got a big guy like Deibler coming right in behind that left knee and kind of putting it down in an awkward position as he banged it to the ground. And they're looking it over very carefully down in the field. That would be a major loss to Burrow.
Deibler started his career at Steel High and then came over to Bishop McDevitt. And you certainly hope Kevin Horwath is all right. He's a junior, 5'10", 175-pounder. His numbers were outstanding coming in, as we had talked about, Gary. And they've lost Hornak and Horwath on this particular series, and both have been involved and met that Corey Deibler and have not really liked the end result. 6:09 to go, second quarter. Bishop McDevitt in control, 14-0, and showing dominance on both sides of the football. That was going to be the big key, is how the defensive and offensive line play was going to be for McDevitt, and so far therefore Chapman has to like what he sees.
Well, he's got to like this number. Nothing out of 4 on third down conversions this afternoon for Burrow. As you see the play one more time, Diabler coming in. Now watch the left knee. Oof. Oh, not what you want to see in any game, or especially a high school game, and we're hoping that Kevin Horwath is okay here.
Hopefully it's just a kind of a stinger or something, but I think it's a little more than that because they're working again on that ankle area.
Talked about Diabler coming over to Bishop McDevitt. 3 years all conference for the Mid-Penn, and that's something to be said when you're playing in a league with predominant 4A teams. As Diabler Horwath coming off the field here, and look at the left knee, trying to put some pressure on him. Very, very hard here at the moment.
Well, they lost 17 total yards on that particular exchange after the block punt. It doesn't look good right there. Hopefully they can take him into a warmer area, tape it up, and maybe he'll come back. Right now, Tom Rizak is into punt. He's a sophomore, and I believe he's the backup quarterback. They're going to work on Horwath a little bit. He is walking tenderly on that ankle as they sit him down. Line drive punt, kind of catches a little wind tunnel, and Jordan Scott fields it at about the 13-yard line. Make that Nelson, rather, and that's where McDevitt will start it up. First down and 10, leading 14-0, and dominating.
Dominating is the word here so far, as the break was given to Burrow, just could not capitalize on it on the block punt. And now the Bishop McDevitt, what should I say, offensive slaughterhouse gets started again here, because they have been absolutely dominant on the line of scrimmage, and they've been dominant on the menu that they have showed this afternoon offensively thus far.
McDevitt will have 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining as Nelson goes in motion. Going to be a pitch back to Rakai Nelson. He's got some speed to the outside, and an excellent pursuit that time by the Burrow defense to hem him after a gain of about 3. Tackle is made by, looks to be that Gene Nicastro, 5'10" senior.
It is Nicastro. I'm really impressed, Jeb, with the quick lateral pursuit that this defensive Burrow has. Watch him. They pick up the blocking very well that time. Good job of getting Nelson before he's able to get to the corner, because when he'll get to the corner, he'll be lethal getting down the field.
Well, again, Tom Henderson, the head coach at Burrow, says this is an almost impossible team to prepare defense for, because they do everything, and they do everything so well. See Nelson in motion again. Scott this time gives it off to Mealy, and he's slammed down right away that time by Joe Kurtik. Excellent play, 5'10", 190-pound senior.
Well, Burrow, with 2 of their best players out, might be rising to the occasion here as they gang tackle 2 straight times. Watch again the quickness of Burrow here defensively. They're a team that knows how to win with the defense. You see him coming up here, and not a real pretty tackle that time by Joe Kurtik, but very effective.
Well, we're going to see Rizak, the quarterback for Burrow. It looks as though that Horwath is out for a while. We'll try and get a report for you. 14-0 McDevitt. It is 3rd and 4. Scott into the pocket under pressure. Scott going to be hit and dropped short of a first down. Well, Jason Gregg has stepped up his game. Justin Shantz was there. Kurtik again, and also the outside linebacker, Matt Pega.
If you're a Bishop McDevitt fan, you now get a chance to see something you've only seen 22 other times all year. It's going to be a punt, and every time Bishop McDevitt punts, because of that play right there, it is a mystery tour. The magical mystery tour, and not always nice magic, a little bit of voodoo every now and then that we saw the last time.
McDevitt looks like they're going on 4th and 6 at their own 17-yard line, and now they call timeout. And simply, I'm sure they didn't forget what down it was. Maybe they were doing a cadence thing.
All they try to do is get you to come off sides, use their timeouts then, and they've had a lot of success this year when they needed just a few yards in doing that. So now they'll go to the punt formation and again try to figure out how to do that correctly.
I've heard of gambling a little bit, Gary, but when you're at your own 17 facing 4th and 6, I know your offense is good, but that's real confidence right there. Maybe too much.
And you still needed 6 yards there, really. So, you know, even if you got the 5-yard penalty, you were a yard short, and they might have gone for it on 4th down with a yard to go. I know every football coach listening to us out there right now had to be going, what's he doing? But they have it all in hand now as they call timeout and now set up for the punt situation again. The first punt today by Eisman was blocked. He'll try to get this one away as you see a worried Harry Chapman on the side, a guy that gets worried every time they get to this one play.
Harry Chapman, the 4th. 3:53 to go, 14-0.
Thus the name for Chapman.
Absolutely. Right now they'd settle for this thing getting out of there. Eisman's kick this time, spiraling kick. Hornack picks it up midfield and dropped immediately. There he is again. Chance Carter, 5'10", senior at the 45-yard line.
Chance Carter being the first chance that time, and he took care of his chance. He got downfield very quickly on special teams, and no gain on the play. And it was Hornak back in there, who went out a few minutes ago with the sore left hand. Watch Chance Carter. Hornak does a nice job of getting his eye on the ball, but not his hands right away, so he'll drop it momentarily, gets a good bounce back up, and then Chance Carter in to finish off the play. New quarterback into the game, Tom Rizak, 3 of 12 this year for only 12 yards.
And a sophomore running a complicated run and shoot attack. He's back again, looks, has a man. It's going to be Mike Mills. Flag is down to the 45-yard line. I believe we're going to have a motion call against Burrell here.
When you run a multiple offense like this, or the run and shoot, you're going to have some of these types of calls, and we'll wait and see what the referee says.
Motion penalty, Burrell. I think McDevitt's going to turn it down. They might take the down.
Ball being on the left hash. The foul is illegal motion. On the blue, White declines a foul. We're going to play second down.
Tom Rizak, a 5'9" sophomore, 163 pounds, in there in place of Kevin Horwath, who went out with a left knee injury. He is only a sophomore. He's not a real big kid. And again, as you mentioned, Jed, operating a very intricate offense as he does here, there may be some mistakes. And again, you put a brand new cadence into the game as well, and a new rhythm as a quarterback.
Second down and 10. Going in motion is Mills for Burrow. McDevitt showing blitz. Delayed handoff that time goes to Jeff DeVore, his first carry, and he slithers and winds to about the 42-yard line, where he is hit and met by Corey Deibler. Rocco Cangelosi is there as well.
You see the blitz coming there, but a nice hole opened up, as you can see it from our camera angle coming in this direction. And a nice little play.
Khalil Nash there, 6'4", 250. Tight end, 3rd and 6. Ball at the 42-yard line of Bishop McDevitt. 2:30 to go. We are in the second quarter. Into the ball game now comes Gene Nicastro. He will line up at a wide receiver spot. New quarterback is Tom Rizak. Their starter, Kevin Howat, in the locker room. Delayed handoff, Mills right up the gut for a first down. Burrow to the 32 of McDevitt, a gain of 9 for the Buccaneers.
What set this play up was they put Hornak in motion the other side and then gave you some counter movement the other way. Watch the handoff. Here comes Hornak around the outside, the fake, and then the handoff to the inside to Mike Mills, who picks up a nice first down for Burrow. Well-conceived play by Coach Tom Henderson.
Well, the ball officially at the 34. Burrow with 3 timeouts remaining, using a new quarterback, trying to get on the board and get back into the football game. They trail 14-0.
First third down conversion this afternoon out of 5 chances.
Rizak, the sophomore quarterback, under center. In motion goes Mills. Second handoff. Don Painter's there. Lost to the 40-yard line. Painter almost took the handoff from Hornak that time, and now Burrow wants a timeout.
That was the same play in reverse. This time, though, they put Mills in motion and tried to give the counter big back to Hornak, and you'll see what happens as it's smelled out very quickly by Bishop McDevitt, and Don Painter puts him away.
Painted him into a corner and painted him on the turf.
Little work of defensive artistry, as it were.
Also helping out that time, Kenny Borrell. He's 5'9", 180 pounds. He's a senior. He's part of that senior group that will always be special as far as McDevitt lore is concerned, because these are the guys that really rebuilt the success back into the program and have weaved them all the way to the state title round here in Altoona this weekend.
Well, you saw it last picture in the stands. I'm glad the fashion police aren't out today. We saw some yellow hairdos, some Santa hats. You'll see a little bit of a potpourri here as far as the wear that's going on today. Some people who haven't even put shirts on this afternoon. As you see, you don't have to look very long to know what side that is. That's the blue and gold of Bishop McDevitt. And you can see it is a little bit nippy out here in Altoona.
Well, they were fired up last night for this state championship game. We'd like to thank the Altoona School Board, Tom Bradley, Director of Media Relations this weekend, also the PIAA. It's always a great time. This particular event, the 4 games and the championship weekend, raises $2.4 million in the Blair County community. Second down and 13. Delayed handoff. DeVore. Nowhere to go. Again, Todd Mealy is in on the stop. He's played an outstanding game, as has Iceman. 3rd and 14. They say even lost a yard.
You talk about the forgotten man right now in this Burrow offense. As you see DeVore get forward for a couple yards, it's got to be John Horwath. 1,300 yards coming into the game. This afternoon, only 2 carries, 1 yard in the game for John Horwath. 3 catches so far, by the way, for the big receiver, Hornak, for only 14 yards. He averages 16 every time he normally catches the ball.
Burrell facing 3rd and 14. You'd think there'd be a little more urgency. We've got 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. They're going to have to hit a big play. Tom Rizak, who replaced Kevin Horwath at starting quarterback. Now he's under pressure, looking under the gun, throws over the middle. And there's that man again, Todd Mealy, to wrap up Mills. Maybe a loss of a yard if he got back to the original line of scrimmage. That would probably be about the best he could have done.
Mealy and Eisman right there again. They're all over the field this afternoon. As you see Rizak looking for something, anything downfield right now. And you can see the coverage back there. Everything is taken care of. And now Eisman and Mealy come together right in the middle of the field. And you see what happens. Mealy wrapping up the play.
Well, Rizak is still learning. It doesn't look as though he's got the real vertical arm to go downfield. And this time, Drew Painter was chasing him down. He heard footsteps. He had to unload.
Now, give him some credit, though. The kid's got some nice poise. He waited. He took a look over the field, checked out all his options, and then came back to the middle and finally found a man open. Rizak is 2 out of 2 in passing. That's the good news. The bad news is 2 out of 2 for no yards.
Bishop McDevitt called timeout. They want to force the issue a little bit. It's 14-0 Crusaders.
The Crusaders have done it all so far this afternoon. They have mixed in the pass, they've mixed in the run, they've gone inside, they've gone outside, and all around the town, and they're up right now by 14 points in the ball game with under a minute to go.
The sun, I think, is trying to make its way through. Who would have thought?
What's that?
Forecast. It was a frightening forecast yesterday. They were calling for 4 to 6 inches. Got an inch. Fake punt. Rizak now he's going to look downfield, throwing, looking for Hornak. He's got it at the 18-yard line. What a catch. Seth Hornak right over 2 Bishop McDevitt defenders, one of them being Chance Carter. What a throw by Rizak.
Hey, Tom Rizak says, it's okay, Coach, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to only be a sophomore, but watch this. This isn't a sophomore play right here. This is a big-time play on the fake as he throws it downfield to the favorite receiver normally of Horwath, this time of Rizak, and it's Hornak going up in the air, spearing it. Big-time play, and right back up to the line is the Burrell offense.
A gain of 18 yards as Rizak converts. 1 timeout remaining. McDevitt coming on a blitz, and Rizak is hit and dropped at the 32-yard line. Eisman is there, along with Drew Painter.
Once again, the Iceman cometh as he came in from the blind side. Painter pinned him in from the other side, pinned him into a corner one last time, and a big defensive play here by Bishop McDevitt after the big offensive play by Burrell to get it downfield to Hornak.
What a frightening thing to see is oncoming traffic on the blitz, and that's what Rizak saw when he saw Eisman coming. I mean, they came in untouched that time, and a great call by the McDevitt defensive staff. Look at Eisman here.
One from the right, one to the left. They said, we'll meet you at the quarterback. It's like going to the bottom of the wishbone, and that's exactly what they did. Great defensive play by Bishop McDevitt. Now watch the fake punt that led to that particular play before, as Rizak looks down the field for Hornak, who has over 60 catches on the season. And watch this. He goes high in the air amidst a sea of white and somehow manages to pull in a great catch.
A 50-50 ball. It comes down to desire, athletic ability. And that's one of those where the defensive player and offensive player have equal access to the football.
Well, you've got 17 seconds to go right here, and if you're Rizak, you really want to try to get the ball into the end zone or get it down somewhere inside the 10-yard line where you at least have a reasonable shot at a field goal effort.
Right now you'd need like Tom Dempsey or somebody to get one through there. 2nd and 21, the ball at the 29-yard line. Mills in motion for Burrell. Back goes Rizak again, looking, going into the end zone, looking Hornak, and it's almost intercepted by Carter right off the shoulder pads between the numbers. He turned around and the ball was right there, and he's disappointed he didn't come down with it.
That's one of those you think, well, why can't he bring that down? Sometimes the ball is just in the air too darn long, and you'll see he gets a good look at it. Rizak looking for the end zone for Hornak. Everybody in the world knows who it's coming through. And here it is. Watch it go up in the air, and he says, I see it, I see it, I see it. Oh, can't get the hands on it.
11 seconds remaining. Ball at the 29-yard line of McDevitt. Burrell would love nothing more than to get a huge momentum boost, score before the half. Keep in mind, McDevitt gets the football to start the 3rd quarter. They deferred after the coin toss. Rizak is back again. Sophomore, he's going to the end zone. This time it is intercepted by Carter. Carter's got excellent speed after the catch to the 15-yard line, and that's where McDevitt will have it, and that'll run out the clock. We have come to the end of the first half of play. Well, Bishop McDevitt scores on their opening 2 possessions, and it stands up in the opening 24 minutes. The Crusaders leading the Buccaneers by a 14-0 count in the boys AA final here in Altoona. And the McDevitt fans are certainly loving what they've seen, because their offensive and defensive line, a lot of guys that go both ways, have dominated as we thought they might.
Well, Howard went out of the game. Kevin Howard, Horwat, that is, goes out of the game with the injury to his knee. John Rezick comes into the game, tries to rescue him, makes one final pass to end the half. And Chance, who missed the first interception, shows you what happens when you say, hey, if you first you don't succeed, try again. Well, he tried a second time, comes over the interception, and Bishop McDevitt snuffs out the final rally to end the half. 14-0 here at halftime for a Bishop McDevitt team that seems to really be on a crusade.
But before you get overconfident, keep in mind, Manheim Central led Berwick in the Eastern Final 17-0 a week ago, only to lose 18-17. Burrow's got a little bit of history on their own side. They were a heavy underdog to New Brighton. They call it the miracle in the mud, with Burrow trailing 8-7 with 3:53 remaining. Jason Gregg, who had a big first half and a blocked punt, returned it 70 yards, a fumble that is, for a touchdown. So Burrow has been there, done that in overtime, and has been in a lot of tense games. We'll see how they make the adjustments. Could be tough without Kevin Horwat, who appeared to have injured his ankle. So with our score here at halftime, Bishop McDevitt 14, Burrow nothing. The boys AA final. Crusaders are out in front. We'll be back with second half action after this.
Spectacular half, the first half here. We are having a great time. I'm sure you are out there as well. We're very proud of WITF to be bringing you the championship game. And of course, Bishop McDevitt out there in the first half, 14-0. This is what we mean by community-supported public television. The community has turned out in force. Businesses, those of you families, all the families worked very hard to get these teams ready, growing up in the community. And finally, today's great game. We are so proud to be bringing you this game. And Tom, thank you. I mean, this is my program, our program manager. I'm Jane Coleman, president of WITF. Tom Keck, I'm here with program manager, and Donna Appadoni, who you'll meet in a minute. And Tom, he's the one who is the hero of the moment, and the community is the hero to put this game on our air.
Exactly, and WITF, there's a slogan that PBS uses: if PBS doesn't do it, who else will? In this case, if WITF didn't do it, who else was going to do it? We got the opportunity to carry the ball, so to speak, and we're very proud to be here this afternoon presenting this great Bishop McDevitt team, and they're ahead, and we're really proud of that. We're proud of our Central Pennsylvania community, and this afternoon at 5 o'clock, you Lower Dolphin fans who are watching right now, your team will be on this afternoon as well. That's what public television can do. That's why we're here, and we're here this afternoon asking for your pledge of support. 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF are the numbers to call to do that. And we're going to check in with Donna Appadoni.
Oh, there's one more number I have to tell you about, and that is, I feel like I'm doing Sesame Street here or something. That is the number 30. We have 30 memberships that we're looking for, because we're so happy to bring you these games this afternoon. But during this first game, during the Bishop McDevitt game, we would have had to raise 30 memberships. So we still want to be able to do that. We can do that with your help. We're 2/3 of the way there. We are now well over 20. We're right at 20, I'm sorry, and we still want to be able to do that. We can do it with your help. 233-9000 is the phone number, or 1-800-233-WITF. And I've got to tell you about some great stuff that we have. How do you like the shirt? You like this? Tom's got his McD shirt on too, and we have got some items for you. We have got some of these, and we'll be telling you how you can get a Bishop McDevitt t-shirt or a blanket or anything here, and support WITF at the same time. We're cheering for Bishop McDevitt this afternoon. We're very excited about being able to work with you and watch this game, and we're hoping that you'll call 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF.
This is an exciting afternoon here in the studios of WITF, and we are really proud to bring you this football game this afternoon. Jane actually left to go answer the telephones because the phones are ringing, and we do appreciate that. We thank you very much. We'd like to make you aware, too, just very quickly, what your pledge does for Central Pennsylvania. Yes, it enables you to watch the Bishop McDevitt football game this afternoon, but it also enables you and your children to watch Sesame Street, or Nova, or Nature, or Masterpiece Theater. That's what public television is all about. When you become a member, you receive a copy of the Apprise magazine. It's Central Pennsylvania's regional magazine, and you get one every single month with your membership pledge of $45 or more. You would also receive the WITF member card, which enables you to have discounts at over 120 merchants throughout Central Pennsylvania. We urge you to charge your pledge on Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. It's more convenient for you. It's more convenient for WITF because then we can turn your dollars into great programming. And great programming is what public television is all about. So right now, go to your phone, call 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF. Say thank you in the form of a new membership pledge, a renewal, or perhaps an extra gift if you're currently a member. Donna?
Well, I'll tell you, watching this game this afternoon is so exciting, especially here in the first half where we're winning 14-0. That's the best part. If you haven't seen some of these items already, you've got to see them now. Have you seen the Bishop McDevitt wool blanket? How do you like this with the Crusaders emblem on it? This is a 100% wool blanket, but it's so soft that it feels sort of like a Polar Plus kind of a thing, but it isn't. It's wool, and you can have this if you contribute to WITF right now, either at $75. We will make sure that this is available to you. Plus, we have the shirt that I'm wearing. It's the McDevitt shirt with, it's great. It's got plaid here on it. We've got the emblem in plaid, and it's available in a couple of different sizes if you contribute $60 or more to WITF. Or how about this one Tom is wearing? How about it? There it is. It looks good. We'll show it to you in a minute.
The camera people are running around.
They're saying, yeah, it looks good, Donna. Yes, it does. It's navy blue. It's got the gold McD on it. And it is yours in a couple of different sizes, extra large or large, for a contribution of $60 or more to WITF. Or, boy, we have so much stuff here. This is great. We've got this McDevitt shirt, and there isn't a lot of time to show you all of this stuff, so let me show you this. It's the McDevitt shirt with the logo, the Crusaders logo in gold, if you contribute $50 or more. And this is one of those very nice ribbed fabric things, too. This is a very nice heavy-duty T-shirt. It's beautiful. It's a very heavy shirt. Yeah, you contribute $50. You can have one, too. No exception. Also have this T-shirt that's really fun because it's got all this glittery color on it here. Isn't that fun? Again, $50 or more to WITF. We're the Booster Club here this afternoon. If you want Bishop McDevitt stuff, we've got it. We've got, let's do this. Here, quick. Quick. How would you like to have this on your car? You don't have one yet, do you? See, you could have one if you would just contribute $50 or more to WITF. It'd be all yours. And then you can put this on the front of your car. It'll be fun. Plus, the hat. Get a load of the hat. You like this? Isn't this terrific? $45 contribution to WITF, and the hat is yours. And I'll tell you, in the couple of weeks after this game, because I know we're going to win this one, in the couple of weeks after this game, you're going to have a great time running around with this hat on. We have a mug, we have a pennant, we have a lot of terrific items. We are the Bishop McDevitt Booster Club this afternoon. Call and make your contribution to WITF at 233-9000, and we'll make sure you get something. Or 1-800-233-WITF.
And WITF is truly here to serve the community. We are Central Pennsylvania's public television station. We're so excited to have the chance to bring you the PIAA Football Championship this afternoon with Bishop McDevitt and later on Lower Dauphin. And yes, McDevitt is winning. Yeah. I'm a native of Central Pennsylvania, born and raised in this area. I have a lot of friends who went to Bishop McDevitt High School. We're so proud of them because today I think we all become Bishop McDevitt fans. It's just like March 17th when everybody becomes Irish. Today we're all McDevitt grads, and we're cheering for you, and so is everyone else in Central Pennsylvania. Central PA has given so much to WITF over the years, and we thank our supporters through the years. This is one of the ways that we want to give back to you. So call us right now, 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF, and make that very important pledge. In fact, our volunteers will be taking only name and number at this point, and they will call you back. 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF.
Don't forget, we will if you charge your pledge, it will mean an instant membership to WITF. Don't forget, even if we just take your name and number and call you back, you're still entitled to work on getting some of this great merchandise from Bishop McDevitt School so that you can wear your colors. We are a community-supported station. That's why we're here for you all year long, but that certainly is why we're here with you this afternoon. We're cheering on the Crusaders. We know you're going to win this game, and we're just so happy to be watching the show with you this afternoon. 233-9000 or 1-800 233-WITF. Those are our phone numbers right here, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. You can support WITF, and you can support our team by purchasing one of these booster items. The money goes to both places. It's a sweatshirt like this, some of the other items we've been showing you. We want you to be a part of the public TV team. We don't have a cute little emblem, but, well, actually we do. He's kind of purple and fuzzy, and his name is Barney. But we want to hear from you right now anyway. Please contribute right now, 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF. Go Crusaders!
And back to Altoona.
This special presentation of the PIAA Football Championships is made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Hershey Park, presenting the Wildcat, the new wooden roller coaster for '96. PNC Bank, serving 13 counties in central Pennsylvania. PNC Bank is your kind of bank, a quality bank for a lifetime. RMA Construction Company, providing quality commercial construction, and proud to support PIAA football in central Pennsylvania. Shadler Brothers Incorporated, specializing in lighting, electrical supplies, industrial automation, and premise networking, serving central Pennsylvania for over 70 years. Alex R. Zales Incorporated, committed to quality restoration of fire and water damaged commercial and residential properties. And Warner Chrysler Plymouth, proud to support the Lower Dauphin Falcons in the PIAA Football Championships.
Welcome back to Mansion Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania, the AA State Championship game here. The PIAA AA State Championship game brought to you on WITF, Channel 33 from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The score here at halftime, Bishop McDevitt 14, Burrell nothing. And with me, a very special guest, the executive director of the PIAA, Brad Cashman. And Brad, last night, a forecast that said there was going to be from 6 to 8 inches of snow in the field today. We got a dusting last night. Someone told me you went to bed awful early, and I want to know what the secret is and who you got through to.
Well, I can't reveal the source of who I got through to, but I did go to bed early, and this is just a reflection of the good, clean lifestyle that PIAA lives. Now, it wasn't totally without saying, because we did get a little snow, but I think we came through pretty well.
Well, Brad, I know you like all the pageantry to take place on the field during the course of the weekend, and that includes the bands that we see going off. We just enjoyed a little bit of here at halftime, the football teams, and the fans getting out here to Mansion Field.
Yeah, we're very pleased with the turnout today. I was a little skeptical because this was on live TV, of course, back in Harrisburg area, that we would have a small turnout, but the McDevitt fans have been out in mass numbers, and we're anticipating we'll have a nice turnout by the Lower Dauphin fans in the second game today. So we're really pleased with this, and the weather's great. The sun actually is out right now, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very nice day.
Brad, anytime you put on one of these extravaganzas, and we call it championship weekend here, it takes an awful lot of people to get it all done. How do you coordinate all that? You've got to be a busy man throughout the course of every one of these 15th week years.
Well, it does. It takes an awful lot of effort, an awful lot of volunteer time, actually. The members of our Board of Control, who are district committee members, we have 12 districts in PIAA, they volunteer their time to help these things come about. They volunteer their time to conduct their own tournaments, their own playoffs, and then, of course, they get involved in running our state playoff games. So it does require an awful lot of time and human effort, and we have to sincerely thank the volunteers that are principals and athletic directors of various schools around the state that volunteer their time to see that this type of thing takes place on a regular basis and on a well-scheduled basis, too.
And, Brad, finally, you had kind of an interesting group put together today to clean the field off and also get in the stands. The Altoona football team was playing, but not on the field today. They got up in the stands and did a little brushing off.
Yeah, the Altoona football team has done this for us in the past. A couple years ago, when we had the actual weekend postponed because of that storm, that was the year that Cumberland Valley, of course, was the Quad A state champion. The Altoona football team, they would have, of course, preferred to be playing in one of the games, but In lieu of that, they came out and did a great job clearing the stands and also helping to clear the field, and we want to thank them sincerely. It's really a fine effort on their part.
And Brad, we want to thank you sincerely. I know you give away a lot of gold medals during the course of this weekend, but truly you and your staff at the PIA have done a really gold medal job once again on bringing the state championships to the people of Pennsylvania.
I have to thank Bob Lombardi, our associate director, and Ellie Hopkins, who's our assistant. They work with me on a day-to-day basis in our office, and they are just a great bunch of guys and do a great job.
Well, Brad, I know you're still a busy man here at halftime. Thanks for stopping up and seeing us. We'll look forward to seeing you again throughout the course of the tournament.
Thank you, Gary. My pleasure.
Brad Cashman, the executive director of the PIAA, gets a chance to stop up and see us. And let's take a look here at the halftime statistics, because there are a few, and they are generally all in the direction of one Bishop McDevitt. You can see in first downs, 10 first downs in the first half to only 3 for Burrell. Rushing, 106 yards, Bishop McDevitt mixing them up with Mealy and Walton throughout the first half. Only 8 yards rushing for Burrell. In passing, 25 yards, Bishop McDevitt, fairly even there, 37 for Burrell. Tom Rezick coming in to try to pick up for a Kevin Howard, who went out in the first half with a knee injury. Total yards, 131 to 45. Turnovers, 1 apiece so far. Penalties, 1 penalty for Bishop McDevitt for 15 yards. 1 penalty for Burrell for 15 yards. As you would expect, 2 teams playing pretty much error-free football at this point in the football game. Next thing we want to take a look at is a few highlights of the first half, Jeb, because there were some big ones. The first highlight is going to come up is going to be the first touchdown by Bishop McDevitt, and we see that big offensive line open up a hole for Tommy Bealey.
There he is. Corey Deibler was so effective on the defensive end. There it is, a big yard plunge by Tommy Mealy, and McDevitt was up 6-0. And now with Tommy Mealy again, this time he darts home from 9 yards out, and Bishop McDevitt is in control, 14-0, and they were up 12-0 at this particular juncture. And then Jordan Scott, you can see how lethal he is by air, finding his favorite target, Rakai Nelson, in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Jordan Scott setting that up with the play-action run that time. And then you see a big play coming up here, the block punt. This is a team that's only punted the ball 23 times all year, and you'll see why as the punt is blocked. The big guy, Greg, comes in to get it. It's covered up by P.J. Buterball, and all of a sudden, Burrell has new life and a chance to maybe get it done, but they were not able to get into the end zone. And then one of the reasons why the Burrell quarterback injured on this play, as Corey Deibler comes in from the near side, and watch the left knee. He gets in behind it, pushes the knee down, and we think he may have extended that knee here in the first half. As you can see him kick in behind the knee, and Howard was in some great pain here before he left the field. And finally, one last gasp as the man comes in for Howard. His name's Tom Rezick, a sophomore, throws it downfield to Seth Hornack on a fake punt. Hornack goes high in the air and spears it, but he didn't get far enough, and that's the way the half ended. 14-0 at halftime here. Bishop McDevitt leads. And hey, if you can't play football, play snow. Get out in the snow and throw it around a little bit here, and you can see snow still from the last storm piled up on the side of the field, and one young Burrell fan having a little fun over there throwing it around.
Well, one kind of bit of irony to this particular game. You heard Brad Cashman, the executive director of the PIAA, discussing the Altoona area getting behind, and the athletic director at Altoona High School is Art Tannehill, ironically a college teammate of Harry Chapman Sr., for Chapman's dad at Shippensburg University. So there's kind of ways you can tie things in, and McDevitt leading 14-0 and in control of this boys AA final, scoring on their opening 2 possessions. And then you saw the way they dominated defensively. When Burrell had blocked that punt and had it 1st and 10 of the McDevitt 20, they lost 17 yards and went backwards.
You were talking about Art Tannehill there for a moment, Jed, and you take it a little further. He's also the coach of the state champion 4A women's basketball team here at Altoona, and the father of Steve Tannehill, the quarterback, the great quarterback down at South Carolina. So you have all kinds of interrelationships when you come together on championship weekend here in Altoona.
Well, the biggest Division I prospect maybe on this field today is Rakai Nelson. And he was somewhat neutralized in that first half. Double coverage of Bill Ream and also Seth Hornack. And they really couldn't get him loose downfield. Look for that maybe to change as we start the second half of play. We're about ready to get it started. McDevitt, as you know, deferred. Kicking off is going to be Charles Post. Going to be a short kick this time. Fielded by, looks Chance Carter to the 20. Carter slams his way to the 26-yard line, and that's where McDevitt will have it 1st and 10 to start the second half.
You talk about McDevitt's possessions in the first half. 10 plays, a touchdown, the first possession. Second possession, 12 plays, a touchdown. Third possession, they had 6 plays and a block punt. And the fourth possession, 3 plays and a punt. As you see Chance Carter return the first kickoff here in the second half. On Burrow's side, it gets a little bit uglier.
Here's where they might want to go no huddle and really tire out the Burrow wall. This is Tommy Mealy had a great first half. This time lunges forward across the 30, maybe to the 31. A gain of 4 or 5, depending on the spot. It's going to be right at the 30. We'll give him 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Crusaders. Opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Great to have you along. WITF Channel 33, your public television station in the Mid-State. Another game to follow today at 5 o'clock. Quad A championship, Lower Dauphin and Penn Hills. As you see, Mealy trying to get free, but Jason Carpenter had a strong first half for Burrow, brought him down from behind. Jordan Scott pitches off at Johnny Walton. He had a big first half. Walton still going. He's close to a first down. Lunges. Second effort to the 37. He may have it.
And the combo that worked so well the first half continues to work to start the second half. The inside running of Mealy, the outside running of Walton. Mealy with 11 carries in the game so far for 59 yards. And you see Walton on this, his 7th carry, and he's got 35 yards racked up. And you'll see why. He's got that quick, elusive speed to the outside. Not able to break away on that one, but does get a first down for Bishop McDevitt.
10:55 to go, 3rd quarter. It is a first down carry by Walton, who stays into the ball game. Scott back, first pass of the second half, looking for Nelson downfield. 50-50 ball, turns around, got it. All the way down to the Burrow 35-yard line, and that's why every college in the country is looking for Rakai Nelson. The adjustment he can make, it was thrown a little bit behind him, but he comes down with it for 28 yards.
Watch this. Over the inside shoulder, it was supposed to be. It's there for a moment, and then he says, it's not there. I'll turn around and take it the other way, and that's just great athleticism to be able to turn around and pick it off. Watch the vision here. Rakai Nelson sees it the whole way. It's on the inside shoulder. Now it floats to the outside. He picks it off. One of the #1 receivers in the United States.
Kevin Mitchell, a sophomore, is in. He's the short man. Dotting the I is at Johnny Walton. 1st and 10. Walton takes the pitch. Walton trying to slip outside. Gets some yardage. He was hemmed in initially by Jeff DeVore. He got to the 33 for a gain of 2. Finally cleaned off by Justin Shantz, a sophomore, 6'1", 235 pounds. And it looks as though Walton is shaken up just a little bit.
And it looks like his left shoulder as he bounced down in the field. You see the pitch out here. Walton actually should have probably lost a yard. Instead, he breaks away and picks up a couple just by backing up in a good second effort by Johnny Walton. But you'll see him get shoved down here by 3 and 4 different guys, and it looks like he comes down hard on that shoulder.
One thing about AstroTurf, and one of the reasons why it's a controversial surface anymore, is that the footing is so good. Yes, there was about an inch of snow, maybe a little bit of an ice mix with it, and it creates kind of a slippery surface a lot of the times in this kind of weather. But AstroTurf, for the most part, is got great traction and great footing, and sometimes it's almost to a fault that it's too good because your foot will stick in place. We saw that with Horwath's injury in the first half where he tore his knee and his ankle a little bit because his foot stayed in the same place longer than it would maybe on a natural surface like grass.
This particular surface, though, is a little bit different than what you'd normally see in a big-time stadium in the NFL because it has a little more cushioning underneath because of the nature of who's playing on it, which are high school kids. And so it is a good surface. It's almost like being on a very, very hard trampoline. You feel a little bit of give underneath your feet when you step up and down this surface, but not a whole lot of give on this play, as you can see Johnny Walton down on the field, and he was just simply shoved down. He put his right arm down to try to give a little bit, to try to break his fall. And you'll see his right arm, first thing it goes down there on the left-hand side of your screen, and then the shoulder comes down, the man on top of it, and they're looking that right shoulder over and right arm right now.
10 minutes and 15 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter. It's 14-0. Bishop McDevitt is out in front. Another game to follow today on Channel 33 WITF as we send this particular game back to Central Pennsylvania will be Lower Dauphin against Penn Hills. And Gary, when you look at that game, Penn Hills, the #5 team nationally, they have about 5 guys that we know are going to play Division I. Lower Dauphin, on the other hand, they're new to the game. They're new to the scene, but I'll tell you, Lower Dauphin has saved their best for last. It's a team that has played extremely well in the postseason. Yes, they're a 10 to 14-point underdog, but you never know. Got to play the games, and I'll tell you, they might relish the underdog role later today.
Well, Lower Dauphin, a team that keeps on saying every week, we don't know what we're doing here, and every week they keep knocking people off. Last week it was Plymouth White Marsh 33-6. No one expected that win, and they walk out and say, you know, we didn't expect to be here, and I guess that kind of wears thin on some people after a while, but you got to like the enthusiasm, and you got to like the little bit of naivete that goes along with that kind of being there and enjoying it as you go along. On the other side, you have a Penn Hills team ranked 5th in the nation, has 2 1,000-yard rushers in the backfield. In fact, not just 1,000-yard rushers. Between them, they've accounted for 3,000 yards. Looks like they're putting that arm in a splint right now on a Johnny Walton. to try to immobilize it down there, and you can see he's getting plenty of attention on the sidelines.
Well, that's one thing you see at events like this, or a lot of football games, especially like this. The medical staff, training staff are always on hand to look after the welfare of the athletes themselves.
Hello.
Football's a combative game, as you know, Gary, high collisions and everything else, and this is just some of the things that will occur from time to time. So we have a little bit of a delay here. Last night, Berwick was a resounding winner, 43-6 against Sharon. Berwick barely beat Manheim Central a week ago, trailing 17-0 at the half. But last night, Dave Robbins proved why Boston College was was glad they won his particular services in the college recruiting game. He was sensational with 3 touchdown catches, and Berwick really legitimized their claim as the #1 team nationally in the USA Today poll. Most of the people in USA Today say they will hold that particular spot next week.
And operator George Curry's vaunted intricate offense flawlessly, as you see the Burrell team down here. Burrell, a team from the northeastern part of Allegheny County. Of course, everybody knows that Bishop McDevitt comes from Harrisburg, so you have a meeting of really the southernmost part of the state and the northernmost part of the state. But a little school, they've had 2 parades already for the Burrell team. They've really gotten in behind the Buccaneers. Probably a pretty good name for this team, which has been very swashbuckling in their approach to offense this year and very courageous in their approach to defense as well. They're a team that has really walked the tightrope, Jed. 2 overtime games. In fact, one of them, a 3 overtime game. They won that one. They won the overtime game. You mentioned the one over New Brighton earlier, 14-8. They're a team that has really come in here as the underdog throughout every playoff game they've been in.
Well, Washington, PA, which made this game a couple of years ago before losing to Dallas out of the East. Washington was the #1 ranked team in the Harrisburg Patriot News AA poll for much of the season. And they lost in the semifinal round to this Burrell outfit. Burrell was waxed earlier in the season in their only loss, and boy, have they bounced back in a big way. Burrell has ran the table from there, and again, you mentioned the narrow escapes as we wait for Johnny Walden, who's being 10-2 right now, the backup running back for Bishop McDevitt. But I'll tell you, they are here for legitimate reasons.
And if you don't think Ford Chapman, the coach of Bishop McDevitt, doesn't respect him, he said, they're scrappy, they play well together, but when they have their backs against the wall, they just somehow find a way to win. They might be small in comparison to most teams, but they find a way to win, big hearts and big courage, and that's pretty much a description of the Burrell football team.
This is, again, what we're talking about, AstroTurf. Footing is enhanced because it sticks, and this is one of the problems that Howard had right now when Corey Deibler and 260 pounds lands on you, and Horwat is not returned to the football game, at least for now, and we don't expect him back.
And now another injury down in the turf today, as you see the right hand go down of a Johnny Walton, and then the right arm. You can see 2 people land right on top, and that arm is in a splint here at the moment, and you're seeing the stretcher being brought out to the field. And you'd never like to see injuries like this anytime, and especially in a championship game when you have young men out here trying to put a gold medal performance down on the field in an afternoon.
Johnny Walden, 6', 170-pound junior. He's going to be the featured back next year. You hope this isn't totally serious. Anytime you see this sort of thing, of course, the alarm bells go off and you kind of grow more concerned. But this is just kind of the extra care that we were talking about that the athletes get in any venue throughout Pennsylvania, but especially here on the championship weekend in Altoona. We were mentioning in the first half, Gary, about how this community has gotten behind this particular event. I know you alluded to that a little bit at halftime with Brad Cashman, the executive director of the PIAA. This event raises $2.4 million for the Altoona area economy here in Blair County, PA, and they have really embraced this particular event. This is the 4th year that it's been exclusively here at Mansion Park in Altoona, and I think now that the state championship concept is catching on. It was a little bit of reluctancy back in '88 when it all began, but now this is the big prize to get.
Well, you come to Altoona, it's championship weekend. You have a lot of people interested. I know Brad Cashman said to me before the interview that, we were really surprised all these people showed up today. He couldn't believe the Bishop McDevitt people, but I kidded him. I said, hey, they were all in town last night. They were looking forward to the snow. I think they were a little let down when it didn't come today. We certainly weren't. It really provides a much better football atmosphere. But $2.4 million into a community on a weekend, hey, you got to be happy about that. We were kidding last night. Gary Saltzgiver, our art director from WITF, spends about $1 million of that on us over the course of the weekend, so we'll feel real good about what we're putting into the coffers of Altoona.
I appreciate that as well. Yesterday, we had an upset in Single A. It was Farrell over Southern Columbia, the champion out of the East. They were resounding winners a year ago, 49-6 over Western Beaver. Well, yesterday, Farrell sprung the upset, and I think with our game later today in Quad A between Lower Dauphin and Penn Hills, I think Lower Dauphin can take that lesson maybe that Farrell gave, maybe not as big, maybe not as ballyhooed coming in, but Farrell just stuck it to him and stayed with it. Denied Southern Columbia on a few fourth-down opportunities and got the job done in the upset win.
You can see the concern here on the screen right now, Jed, of everyone here. This is just fallen silent. You know, the whole atmosphere, the yelling, the cheering, and everything. You can see how everyone is looking down in the field right now. That's the Bishop McDevitt side of the field that you're looking at. And everyone very, very concerned right here about a Johnny Walton who's being taken off the field on a stretcher after having his right arm and shoulder, and we're not sure which or both, really were involved. You'll see now that people want to let them know they're there for him.
It's a great thing. I mean, he may not be back if McDevitt were to win this game and be part of the ceremony on the field, but you can bet his teammates will not forget. There's kind of an interesting thing going on in the Burl sideline. See if we can get that. How to stay loose in the cold weather while there's an injury of this particular length. They're doing regular drills that you see during pregame.
Hey, it's calisthenics time again.
Right.
These guys probably love that, right? They say, oh, no, not these things again. We've been doing them all season. We thought this was the last time, but, when you're out there, you got to stay flexible right now. In this kind of weather, you tend to get tense very quick. Those muscles tighten up very quickly, and Bishop McDevitt doing the same thing on the other side. A little bit different method, though. They did a lot of individual stuff over there trying to keep themselves loose. So the coaches continue to have to think about the game, and you're also very concerned about this young man we see on the screen, Johnny Walton, who has been such a big factor here this afternoon, and it remains to be seen what his absence will do to the rest of this football game.
Well, he's backed up Tommy Mealy, and he's given them a different look with a long, loping stride. They've got a little bit of snow falling now in Mansion Park here in Altoona. Let's talk a little bit about the situation where you get this. What are you thinking of the coach? You know he's going to be leaving. He's going to be injured. I mean, you don't want to. Why don't coaches go over more to an injured player? Why has that happened?
I think in the last 20 years, Jed, probably what's happened in the world of sports has been the inception of sports medicine. And you have people down there who are trained now, and so the coaches basically say, let them do their job. The coach goes over and lets the kid know, hey, I'm there for you, but right now I've got to worry about a team also. So it's kind of an interesting situation for a coach, but I know there were good hands down there taking care of it, and that's the way the coach usually handles it.
There you see it, Johnny Walton, who left. They put his arm in a splint. Now, what that means, we don't know. You can't speculate on that. We'll try and find out further information for you. Third quarter, McDevitt has it now at the Burl 34-yard line. Second down and 9. Handoff goes to Tommy Mealy. Big hole to the 34-yard line. He is hit and dropped there by Joe Kurtik, 5'10", 190-pound senior. It'll be third and about 5 at the Burl 30-yard line for Bishop McDevitt. Look at Mealy, excellent lane runner.
Well, the basic philosophy the whole game has been for Fort Chapman to take Mealy inside and then Walton outside, but now Walton is absent from the game, so Mealy takes it and heads to the outside a little bit himself as he slants off the middle, goes off tackle, and a third down situation for Bishop McDevitt.
Dave McKenzie is on as an extra wide out there. The handoff to Mealy, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide that man. Joe Kurtik again for Burl. He's playing a whale of a football game up front for the blue and white of the Buccaneers.
Joe Kurtik, a senior, 5'10", 190 pounds, and he throws every bit of that 190 pounds into some furious tackling here as you see him come over from that tackle spot and bring down Mr. Mealy. It's a fourth down situation for Bishop McDevitt as the snow starts to fall.
There you see the situation. McDevitt will send 3 wide receivers. You see him off to the near bottom of your screen. Scott is back. Blitz is coming. Scott running for his life. Throws, and it's incomplete. Pass intended downfield for Brian Manny. And Scott was running for his life because coming that time was P.J. Butterbaugh, 5'10", 180-pound junior. As you see the snow begin to accumulate onto the field here at Mansion Park. It's picked up a little bit.
P.J. Butterbaugh came out of his defensive tackle spot that time to really put some heat on. He just burst through 2 guys at the line and flushed Scott out of the pocket to force him into the bad play, and the ball goes over to Burl. Burl in the first half, 3 plays, punt. 6 plays, punt. 3 plays, punt. 3 plays, punt. 10 plays, interception. It has not been a good afternoon for the offense, the high-octane offense of the Burl Buccaneers.
Tom Rizak, the sophomore, will stay at quarterback. Handoff goes, I believe, this time to the second man through, that being John Horwath.
One of the reasons why might be the stingy offense, which has only allowed 7.6 points a game all season, of Bishop McDevitt, who has been tough up the middle. And you'll see here exactly why as you get a look from the defensive side of Bishop McDevitt, and nowhere to go.
Spoljaric and Deibler converged on the stop for the Crusaders. That is over 500 pounds meeting you at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Deibler has been a one-man wrecking crew in the interior of that line so far this afternoon. He continues to dominate here in the second half.
Wide receiver look now for Burrow. They try. Rizak back again, looking, has time, floats it out there, has a man, and it's caught downfield. Excellent play. Bill Ream all the way down to the McDevitt 49-yard line. And the biggest gain of the football game thus far of 21 yards to number 21, Bill Ream, and an excellent look off this time by Rizak, the sophomore quarterback.
You talk about some courage. This Rizak kid's got it, and then he finds Ream coming down the field. Perfect strike to Ream. Nice and low as Ream slides along in the newly fallen snow, and all of a sudden there's a little life in the Burrow offense.
The field is like a glazed donut with that layer of snow on it right now. 8 minutes and counting, third quarter. Rizak back again. Flushed out, keeps it himself to the 44-yard line, and a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Buccaneers as they look to get their crowd back into the ball game. Trailing 14-0. Heady play by the sophomore.
Again, with Kevin Horwath out, the young sophomore Tom Rizak comes in, and he's not going to wow you with his running, but he gets it done here, picking up a quick 4 yards, leaving them with a 2nd down and 6 situation as he takes the leadership of this team, trying to drive Burrow in for their first touchdown.
The most life in the Burrow crowd since the beginning of the football game. Bishop McDevitt has basically turned them out. In motion goes Mike Mills. Rizak, delayed handoff. This is Horwath. He's got nowhere to go. And again, on the bottom of the stack, Steve Spoljaric, 6'2", 260 pounds. And he is playing himself into a lot of Division I lists around the country. He is going to be looked at by a lot of people next year. It'll be 3rd and 6 coming for Burrow.
Yeah, there's more than one Horwath. This is John Horwath. 217 carries this year for 1,319 yards, but it has been a miserable afternoon for him so far today. That's only his 3rd carry in the game.
6:45 to go, third quarter. Rizak back, lost his footing temporarily. Ball is tipped on the way through by Don Painter and knocked down. It'll be 4th and 6. And again, Tom Henderson's got to think about going on 4th down. He's running out of time. Even though it's third quarter, there's still a lot of it left. He's going to punt.
Don Painter using his 6'5" frame to get a big paw up that time and knock the pass away from the 5'9" Rizak. And a punting situation as, again, it's early in the second half. And you're figuring right now, if you're Tom Henderson, hey, there's still a lot of chances to go. But I'll tell you, the conditions aren't going to get a whole lot better.
They faked a punt. He completed an 18-yard pass. This time he lets it go. Jordan Scott, fair catch at the 13-yard line. And that's where McDevitt will get it, 1st and 10. Jordan Scott didn't want to take any chances that time. You can see the surface has picked up a little bit of snow, and it's probably got a little better traction than it looks on camera right there, but it's still getting a little more glazed and slick as we move on.
Well, this field reacts well to rain. Snow, you're going to get a little bit of a glazed look on there. And right now, it's a little slippery out there. We'll see on the cuts, particularly at the outside, how slippery it is here in this upcoming offensive series.
McDevitt will start with a no-huddle look. Tommy Mealy has got Drew Painter in front of him. Jordan Scott back, looks, throws, has a man. It's Rakai Nelson to the 21-yard line, a gain of 7. Safe route. Great catch, Rakai Nelson.
Bill Ream right on his back. And you want to talk about maturity? Nelson senses Ream right behind him, gets down low and takes the ball. And beautiful throw that time by Jordan Scott. And the only place that it probably could have been caught is Bill Ream with good coverage. You'll see it here again from the backside. Ream all over it, right on top of Nelson. But the ball there early enough, Nelson pulls it in.
Jordan Scott at 5'9". One of the reasons why he's effective despite the height disadvantage is that he can move around in the pocket and give himself a better look downfield. Handoff Mealy. Mealy slams forward for a 1st down as Bishop McDevitt, nothing fancy there. Running behind big Khalil Nash, the 6'4", 250-pound tight end at a 1st down.
Tommy Mealy continues to pound the yardage out here, especially in the second half. And watch the offensive line here. Give the big hole to Mealy. Push that defensive line, rather, of Burrow out of the way. And Mealy with another big positive pickup.
More importantly for McDevitt, the clock continues a meltdown here in the third quarter as you see Mealy getting the 1st down with a gain of 5. 5:35 left, third quarter. McDevitt leading 14-0 at the Burrow 26-yard line. Jordan Scott, nobody behind him. Quick look, has a man. Nelson, 1st down to the 39. And if it weren't for a great play in front by Bill Ream, Nelson would have really been flying.
Well, Bill Ream knows he's got the tough assignment this afternoon as he's out there trying to guard Nelson the whole way. Nelson, who was pretty quiet in the first half, all of a sudden in the last 2 out of 3 plays has opened things up. And you'll see here, Nelson picks it up, and Ream right on top of him again. But when the ball's thrown as well as that, and you have a set of hands ready to catch it the way Nelson has, nothing but good is going to happen for Bishop McDevitt.
3 wide receivers are off to your screen now. Jordan Scott, look, quarterback draw all the way to the 44-yard line. That only picked up a couple of yards.
Who else?
Staying home that time, Joe Kurtik again.
Who else but Joe Kurtik? He's been there all afternoon on the interior of that Burrow line. And you'll see here again, he tracks down what could have been a big play, the quarterback draw, as Jordan Scott heads forward, and Kurtik hangs on for dear life and finally yanks him down.
Guy we haven't mentioned a lot who's played well today is Joe True, the center for Bishop McDevitt. No bad exchanges, certainly key in weather like this. In motion goes Rakai Nelson. The lone setback is Mealy. Mealy gets the pitch. Now cuts it back, slams forward midfield. Second effort, first down, Bishop McDevitt. Excellent run by Tommy Mealy. Yards after he was initially hit. McDevitt moves the chains. The clock continues to move. This is a tough run.
Well, if you want to know where Tommy Mealy is on this highlight film, just watch where the crowd moves, and you'll see Tommy Mealy. He gets inside the crowd here, and then the crowd just kind of moves along as Mealy says, I want that first down badly, and I believe he's going to pick it up.
They're going to bring the chains out. It's right at midfield. That's where he had to get to. He got 6 yards.
Watch the carry here. The ball had to touch the next line. Now watch how the crowd just moves along, and the ball touched the next line, and Tommy Mealy says, first down. 15 carries, 74 yards in the game now for Tommy Mealy, who really gets double duty with a Johnny Walton going out with that arm injury.
See a little bit more of Jacoby Pittman, probably Dave McKenzie at a wide receiver spot. His brother Todd Mealy has played outstanding football at the cornerback spot. Now we got 4 minutes left, third quarter. 1st and 10, McDevitt right at midfield. Scott delayed handoff goes to Mealy. This time he gets maybe 2 or 3 yards. Hit from behind by Matt Paga that time for Burrell. Paga plays tight end on offense. That time an excellent surge on the defensive end side.
And here you go again. You see him coming up the near side as Mealy just getting yeoman duty in this series. But, you know, you talked about the weapons. It's like going to a fine restaurant and checking out what you want in the menu. Okay, Johnny Walton's out, and that's not good. But they went to the passing game this series and mixed up the pass with Mealy a little bit more and also Rakai Nelson.
They've got single coverage now with Gene DeCastro off your screen to the bottom with Rakai Nelson. They might look that way. Hitch and go. Nelson's got it all the way. 25, Nelson 20, Nelson 10, cut back to the 5, touchdown, Bishop McDevitt. They got the coverage they were looking for, and they made them pay. 48 yards and a touchdown.
Well, you said it right away, the single coverage, and that's exactly what Jordan Scott sees as he throws it to the outside to the Jerry Rice of high school football, Rakai Nelson, and he does the rest. Watch this move at the end. He just loses his man, Hornick, and dances his way into the end zone, and Bishop McDevitt is on the board one more time here at the 3:19 mark of the third. Watch again, Jordan Scott, perfect lead. Rakai Nelson, a great set of hands out there, and you'll see him stare it in the whole way, and then dodging Hornick at the end and going in for the TD.
Well, it was Hornick not being on him. Now they fumble it. Scott's going to pick it up. Scott's going to run it in himself for 2. A busted play, and they get the deuce anyway. 22-0, Bishop McDevitt. You know, are they living life well right now in the AA championship game with 3:19 left, third quarter. McDevitt takes a gigantic step towards gold medal time.
When you talk about that ball being kind of oblong and weird, that's exactly what the special team offensive game of Bishop McDevitt is, oblong and weird, because they've not been able to convert a kick yet this afternoon. But watch what happens. When it's going your way, it's going your way. Jordan Scott picks it up and says, hey, I like this play a lot better, and we get an extra point, and takes it into the near corner of the end zone for 2. Jordan Scott in, and the 2 points good. 7 plays, 84 yards, and the 2-point conversion by Mr. Scott himself.
Here's the single coverage. They changed off. They did not have Hornack on. Nicastro was there, and McDevitt saw it coming.
And you talk about the mark of a mature team, able to pick that up right away. That's a great coaching staff, too. You got to give credit to Fort Chapman and his staff over there. They saw it right away. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they just used the great speed, the power, and the passing ability of Scott to Nelson for another victory throw.
There's a brick kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. That'll mean Burrow will have it at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. That's a high school and collegiate rule. I think the NFL has it now. Anything that's kicked out of bounds, you can take the option of having it again or take it 1st and 10 at the 35. Well, Fort Chapman mentioned his assistant coaches are excellent picking up certain things from the press box or from an up-top view. That time they got it done. They saw single coverage on Rakai Nelson. And I'm sorry, you can't keep that fire out all night or all day long, and they couldn't here today.
Like I said, when you have a menu to choose from that they have, just kind of go to Nelson when everybody's forgotten about him, say, hey, by the way, we still have this guy around, and there he was. Big TD play for Rakai Nelson.
Bishop McDevitt, 22, Burrell nothing. McDevitt looking to be the first team since Cumberland Valley to get one from the District 3 area. Big carry that time, John Horwath. First time he's been loose across the 40 to the 42, a gain of 7.
Hey, I'm impressed with the spirit of this Burrell team, though. They're not giving up. They're still coming at you the whole afternoon. They didn't get here by giving up. They didn't get here by not winning overtime games and winning close games. They're a team that has lived on the edge all year, and you'll see this fight continue as we still have 2:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. Watch the nice pitch out here, and then coming near side, John Horwath, a kid that gained 1,300 yards this season, has not had a great game today, but we still have a little time to go yet.
Good kickout block by the tight end Peg. A lone setback is Horwath behind Tom Rizak, the quarterback. And off goes Horwath, trying to get to the outside. 45, he has 5, make it 10 to the McDevitt 48-yard line. And a first down for the Buccaneers of Pearl, trailing 22-0 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You got to give a little credit to Tom Rizak coming off the bench here, too, who has pitched right, pitched left. He hasn't made any mistakes this afternoon. He's not thrown any interceptions, has no fumbles so far. And you see the nice pitch back here to Horwath, who comes around the near side.
I believe he's hurt after this particular tackle.
Well, there's already one Horwath out of the game today, and that was Kevin Horwath, the quarterback in the first half, and now his brother, John, down on the far side one more time as the crowd quiets yet again. And let's watch the play and see if we can see where he gets hit as he comes around the far side.
Corey Deibler around it again.
and poor Corey Deibler, I know he's not trying to hurt anybody this afternoon, but along with a bunch of his buddies over there, puts a tackle on John Horwath. And, you know, that's one of the deals in the game. There's a chance to get hurt, and unfortunately, we never want to see anyone get hit. But this afternoon, on a cold afternoon where those types of things tend to happen, it's happened twice.
Sometimes you just hope maybe he had the wind knocked out of him, and it's nothing more serious than that. Well, he had 13 yards in his last 2 carries. His first 4 carries throughout the game netted minus 1 yard.
Yeah, as I said, it hasn't been a good afternoon for a kid that averages over 100 yards a game, but right now we're just hoping he can get back in the game as John Horwath laying over on the far side of the turf. I should say line, rather. Our English people out there might jump all over me.
There's your score. There's the time left in the 3rd quarter. Another game to follow today on Channel 33, WITF at 5. Lower Dauphin, the Falcons, will look to make it maybe a sweep for District 3 in the Harrisburg area. McDevitt leading 22-0 and in firm control of this football game. There's still a long way to go, but you really get the feeling that McDevitt may have thrown the knockout punch in a big way with this 48-yard bomb and catch by Rakai Nelson.
And there you see it again, the one-on-one coverage. And I don't think there's any one person in this stadium who could cover Rakai Nelson by himself. And Hornack had the unenviable task that time. Nelson dodged him, danced into the end zone. You talk about the coaching staff, and you talk about the special teams. Well, the special teams need a little work here for Bishop McDevitt. But, hey, when you're able to improvise like this, what the heck? It works pretty well. 2-point conversion after the missed extra point effort. Already one block this afternoon, and Jordan Scott into the end zone one more time as the Burrell cheerleaders over on the far side. Burrell out of northeast Allegheny County comes in here this afternoon with a 13-1 record. Their only loss coming to Laurel Highlands, a 4A team, 41-7. And after that, they went on a tear the rest of the season and brings them into this championship game today.
Well, we mentioned Bishop McDevitt has had to beat 8 4A teams to get to the state championship. They won the Mid-Penn Division I in their league. They have beaten teams like Middletown 25-14, Cumberland Valley 28-25. Cumberland Valley is a team that probably should have made the playoffs. There was a technicality problem that kept CV on the sideline. They blew out Central Dauphin 47-0. Academy Park out of the Philly area 44-zip. Redland 35-21. Chambersburg, tough team, 14-3. Harrisburg, that's a huge rivalry game with the Cougars. They won that one 12-7. Beat Steelton High Spire 27-7. Carlisle 43-0 and a good Cedar Cliff 33-0. And have been in the playoffs and basically have had everybody else in the rearview mirror, and they are not looking back. How do you relive the great moments of PIAA championship football history? Well, you can write the PIAA and get your tape for $21 plus $4 for shipping and handling at 550 Gettysburg Road, P.O. Box 2008, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, 17055. You can call locally in the Harrisburg area at area code 717-697-0374 or toll free at 1-800-382-1392, or in this era of the 90s, fax it in at area code 717-697-7721. Visa and MasterCard are accepted. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Get your PIAA High School Football Championship tape and relive some of the great moments from Mansion Park in Altoona.
Jed, my envelope's in the mail already. I like the two guys that are talking on those tapes every time. Matter of fact, my wife said it's the only place I can go and talk and anyone will listen. So
we'll take you right back to how this got to be a 22-0 ball game. This is a first touchdown, and this is a great run here by Tommy Mealy. But watch the kick-out block by Corey Deibler there to blow it open, Gary.
Well, Corey Deibler's done it on both sides of the ball today, defensively and offensively. You see the offensive part there as he opens a hole that you and I might have been able to run through arm in arm. And here's the second touchdown. Deibler one more time opening a hole. But you see Tommy Mealy doing it on his own at the end with a little jute and squirm and then dancing away for the second Bishop McDevitt touchdown.
That kept a 12-play, 76-yard drive. And then the fun play was the two-point conversion. Again, you saw Jordan Scott run it in. Watch him throw here to his favorite target, Rakai Nelson, in the back of the end zone. And that made it 14-0 Bishop McDevitt. And then, really, the knockout punch, which we saw moments ago in this third quarter to make it 22-0. Rakai Nelson, you just cannot give him single coverage. And I think the McDevitt coaching staff got the play in time, and they checked off. And Rakai Nelson took it in 48 yards for the touchdown. And Jordan Scott unloads.
And here you see it, the single coverage, not the wisest play of the afternoon. And Rakai Nelson senses it. He knows where it's coming, and he takes off. Hornak, the last man that can get him, nothing doing. As into the end zone goes Rakai Nelson. And then, of course, the somewhat unusual two-point conversion with the muffed extra point. Jordan Scott picking it up and then taking it in himself, and that completes the scoring, 22-0, 2:32 to go in the third quarter. And again, another injury on the field. We're waiting for that to all get sorted out as John Horwat, brother of Kevin Horwat, already out of the football game today, the quarterback. Horwat, the 1,300-yard rusher for the season, down on the field as well. So it's not been a good afternoon for the Horwat family or the Burrell football team to this point in time.
Well, they're really up against a pretty quality outfit. I mean, Bishop McDevitt, everybody was talking in the media about their strength of schedule as maybe being the margin of difference in this game. And I think, Gary, when you play that kind of quality competition, you've been in this situation, you take a chance a lot of the times to go down to defeat. In football, it's not as magnified, say, in basketball, because there are less opportunities. You only have 10 or 11 of those games, and really one loss can wreck a season. We see that a lot on the college level. But what about strength of schedule and everything else, and being able to know that you've got enough points to qualify, which Fort Chapman has done by staying in the Mid-Penn Division I and being able to kind of get through that thunder year in, year out?
I guess I can give you an interesting basketball analogy. In 1987, I was coaching at Columbia High School. We won the state championship. We were the fourth-place team in the district that year, the first team to win out of fourth place. But it was kind of interesting. Halfway through that season, we were 3-7 at Christmas time, but we were playing all 4A schools. We were playing Lebanon and Lancaster-McCaskey. We were the smallest 2A school in the state that year, and we were playing a lot of big schools. It paid off for us later in the season by playing a quality schedule, even though we were 22-10 coming into the state championship game, and we ended up being 23-10 because we knocked out Winburn High School from over in the Johnstown area. So I think when you play a good schedule and you play 4A teams who are generally bigger, stronger, have more kids to choose from, it's going to pay dividends to you in the long run. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long run. And I think that's the analogy I can make with the Bishop McDevitt team, which is a 2A school playing against 8 4A teams in their schedule. All they had to do was go through their league and play their regular teams, and they're playing a great, great schedule that I don't think Burrell probably has the advantage of playing during the course of the season. Again, a little bit because of geography.
Well, another thing, too, and nothing's a perfect world, but a lot of people are confused by the playoff point systems. The Cumberland Valley situation comes to mind, where Norristown did not bring to their attention about a player until late, and Cumberland Valley had to sit out an ineligible player, rather, and a loss to Easton, and thereby Cumberland Valley was edged out by Cedar Crest out of the Lebanon area for the final playoff position out of District 3, and CV may have been playing their best football toward the end, but got bumped out. I guess it's kind of tough to these playoff thing. Now, McDevitt's listed as a AA school. It hurts the Quad A teams that play them because they don't get the kind of impact.
very, very hard. And, of course, McDevitt knocked off Cumberland Valley this year, 28-25, and probably the most memorable game for them of the season. And, you know, Bishop McDevitt certainly deserves to be here now. Cumberland Valley maybe deserves to be here, too. But, again, those little aberrations occur sometimes. We don't like them, but that's the exception, not the rule when it comes to the PIAA. You know, and I think, according to the districts, too, they make some good decisions during the course of the season. We get a chance to see it firsthand here at the state level when we come to Altoona, the kinds of decisions and the kind of things that the PIAA does to really make this football championship the very best that it can possibly be.
Well, I mean, it's just think about the state itself, Gary. I mean, the geography of it is almost impossible to try and to comprehend. You got Erie, Philadelphia, you got Pittsburgh, the Harrisburg area. I mean, to just find a neutral site such as Altoona, maybe for the football thing, kind of a huddle on the blanket there, a huddle in the puddle, and see the ambulance getting ready now for John Horwat, rather, who's, we don't know what kind of injury it is. We're trying to find out, but apparently it's serious enough for this to occur. But
that's one of the sites we don't like to see at the state championships, as you see Burrell continuing to loosen up again.
Again, let's talk the geography. PIAA does a great job being able to blend that together and kind of keep everybody at peace to a certain extent.
Well, absolutely. And, of course, the state divided into the regions. District 3, for example, where Bishop McDevitt comes from, encompasses 10 counties, one of the bigger districts in the state. And you see Brad Cashman down on the field right now, right there with the referees. He's talking with the referees, and Brad off to the left of the screen, trying to make sure that everybody's still on track as to where we're supposed to be this afternoon. This game taking much longer now, obviously, but necessarily because of the injuries. And if you're the Horwat family today, boy, what was a great dream to start the afternoon, Jed, all of a sudden becomes a nightmare.
It's been a very tough thing, and you see Joe Kurtig is one of the captains over there. He's number 64 in the Burl Blue right there. And yeah, obviously everybody's very concerned. You hope that that it's not as serious as it looks. A lot of the time they take the extra precautions, and you're certainly grateful that they do because of the welfare of the young man involved.
There you see a look at the field here at Mansion Park, and that is the, I guess we'd say, AstroTurf, the artificial
surface, if you will. 22-0. Bishop McDevitt is in front. Both teams are kind of limbering up as we have this particular delay in the action at this time.
We said the afternoon has been pretty much a disaster for Burrell so far. Not so obviously for Bishop McDevitt. You look at some of the numbers. Jordan Scott so far, 4 carries for 21 yards. Tommy Mealy, 16 carries for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Walton with 6 carries before he left the game with an injury for 44 yards. In passing, Jordan Scott, 8 of 13, 121 yards and a touchdown to go with that. And Rakai Nelson, 6 catches, 104 yards, and 1 touchdown this afternoon. And he has been dynamite here, particularly in the second half. He already has a 2-point conversion and a touchdown catch, 8 points in the football game.
Talk about getting somewhat of a little bit of a break in the weather. They were calling for 4 to 6 inches of snow to be in the Altoona area by today. I know back in the Harrisburg area, I was hearing stuff as much as like 6 or 8 inches. And the crowd doing a standing ovation right now for the injured player, that being John Horwat. His brother left earlier with a ankle injury, hyperextended knee, and we certainly hope he's going to be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for the injured Burl box number
22-0. Bishop McDevitt is out in front.
What you've basically taken out of the Burrell lineup, and you don't think about it this way, obviously, when you do it, but John Horwat, 1,319 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6.1 every time he carries the ball. Then Kevin Horwat, his brother was the quarterback, 1,699 yards passing, 22 touchdowns. You have those 2 guys out of the game. It certainly is a tough, tough job right now if you're head coach Tommy Henderson to continue to patch up this lineup as the afternoon continues to unfold. We were talking about yardage here. Burrell so far, 25 yards rushing, 59 yards passing compared to 140 yards rushing for McDevitt, 121 yards passing. That's 161 to 84 as McDevitt on defense. Burrell comes back out on offense now.
We find out the medical personnel do not believe the injury to be serious. Pitch back, and it goes to DeVore. DeVore is running for his life. He's going to be hit by Painter, and then finally wrapped up at the 49-yard line by Chance Carter. Everybody was involved in that particular stop for the Bishop McDevitt defense. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 13 now. Make it 3rd and 13.
Want to talk about a tough piece of running? Watch Jeff DeVore. 1 tackle. Watch this again. Now he's shed a 2nd one. Make it 3 coming up right here as Jeff DeVore just refusing to go down, and finally 4 and 5 get him.
Make it 2nd and 13. They had to dial it down wrong on the sideline. That's usually what I go by, not the board. 1:40 left, third quarter. Rizak handoff to DeVore. He's got a nice hole across the 45 and whams his way to the 42-yard line. Gain on the play of 8. Be short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 4 upcoming. Excellent hole by the offensive line for Burrell here.
Well, here's a great look for you from our camera crew again. Looking at from the defensive side of Bishop McDevitt is DeVore just blazing through the hole. DeVore, a 5'11", 180-pound senior.
Down to 1:05 in the third quarter. 3 wide receiver set now. Gene Nicastro, he's the most dangerous of the wideouts. Still in the ball game for Burrell. Tom Rizak, a sophomore, coming in a replacement role. DeVore runs right into Todd Mealy. Also on the bottom of the stack again is a guy who's played a whale of a game, Mike Eisman. Only a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds. And number 13 in white has come to play today.
Well, it seems like 13 and 1 have converged a couple of times this afternoon. As you see Mealy's familiar number 1, Eisman on the bottom with 13, and jumping in to help finish it off. Big Dan Painter, he's been there all afternoon as well with his 6'5", 240-pound frame.
Painter is a senior. He's got a brother, Drew Painter, is a senior as well. Both have been outstanding all year long. It is 4th and 4 for Burrell. The ball at the McDevitt 42-yard line. Rizak is back. Blitz is coming. Rizak runs out of trouble once. Drew Painter's got him, and he's hit and dropped, and McDevitt will get it back on downs. Making the final play, Kenny Burrell, 5'9", 180-pound senior, and the pursuit was explosive that time by the McDevitt defense.
Well, first of all, they got the hands up in front, as you'll see right here, forcing him to try to run back into the pocket. As Rizak gets up, you'll see the hands go up, and now he has to duck away and run for his life. He ducks 1, he ducks 2, but he's finally sold on the 3rd tackle.
And that's how the third quarter is going to come to an end. Rizak, a sophomore, Gary, has really played well. And there you see the McDevitt defense just really doing well. Drew Painter there, and there's Burrell finally finishing it off. Timeout on the field. 12 minutes separate Bishop McDevitt from a state championship in Class AA. Back to Mansion Park in Altoona after this timeout.
This special presentation of the PIAA Football Championships is made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Hershey Park, presenting the Wildcat, the new wooden roller coaster for '96. PNC Bank, serving 13 counties in central Pennsylvania. PNC Bank is your kind of bank, a quality bank for a lifetime. RMA Construction Company, providing quality commercial construction and proud to support PIAA football in central Pennsylvania. Shadler Brothers Incorporated, specializing in lighting, electrical supplies, industrial automation, and premise networking, serving central Pennsylvania for over 70 years. Alex R. Zales Incorporated, committed to quality restoration of fire and water damaged commercial and residential properties. And Warner Chrysler Plymouth, proud to support the Lower Dauphin Falcons in the PIAA Football Championships.
Score is 22-0. Burrell's trying to do what they can, but they're just not coming through this afternoon. Donna Appadoni and Tom Keck watching the game with you. And, well, you know, we do have our McDevitt shirts on, but that's primarily because we have some great merchandise for you, including these items. If you would like to support WITF and be a part of the Booster Club for McDevitt at the same time, we have the shirts, the hats, the merchandise here for you. Just make a contribution to 233-9000.
And we're accused of being homers today because of Bishop McDevitt. Well, if you're from the Burrell area, we are also pleased to bring the game to you as well. This game is important because it's brought to you by Central Pennsylvania's public television station. Public TV is a place where you can find great community programming, and right now it's time to get back to Jed Donahue in Altoona.
Back to Mansion Park, Jed Donahue along with Gary Sutton, 22-0. Bishop McDevitt 12 minutes away from a state championship in AA. They will start at their own 45-yard line. Nelson in motion. The sun has peeked through. Double handoff. Nope, going to keep it himself this time. We're looking at Tommy Mealy, and he's got it all the way to the 49-yard line. Well, usually see that in a wing tee, but again, Bill Ream stayed at home and snuffed it out.
Tommy Mealy doing a nice job of getting the ball, just sweeping around the near side. Good blocking again by that big offensive line we've talked about so much up front. 258 pounds on the average, and you can see what happens when you get around the corner with Tommy Mealy. He takes off on you. Second down coming up here for Bishop McDevitt.
As they go to a no-huddle offense, they run this an awful lot. They're very comfortable in this scheme. Scott throws down the middle, has a man, and dropped by Rohasek. Are they saying he caught it? Yes, they are. They're going to rule out a fumble at the 14-yard line. I guess he did take a stride or two with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rohasek did a great job catching the football. A beautiful pitch again from Jordan Scott. Watch this. This ball is thrown on a rope. Rohasek has it right down the field, and you could probably excuse him because watch this hit. Whack. He gets taken out right there by Gene Nicastro again, who has been stupendous in the secondary this afternoon, and the fumble caused, and Pearl has the football. Here again, looking at
the official, because he did take a step with it. From up here, naked eye, didn't look like it, but yeah, he was off. That's a good call all the way around. Burrow gets it on the turnover. Hasek throws, and I'll tell you what, it's a good thing he threw it low, because stepping in front maybe was Jacoby Pittman, and had he done so, he was gone.
We look at the young quarterback right now, Tom Rezick, who's been forced into the situation he is because of Kevin Horwat's injury. And Rezick trying to do his best right now, but I'll tell you what, is really getting some heat by a much bigger Bishop McDevitt line than he probably has seen all season. And not just bigger, Jed, quicker to go along with that.
Well, they have just filled the holes, and then they're blitzing the linebackers and everything else. I mean, the linebackers for Bishop McDevitt are almost as big as the offensive linemen for Pearl, and it's really proven out to be the big factor in the game thus far.
Bishop McDevitt coming out of a 4-3 look all afternoon.
Handoff goes to Jeff DeVore, and he is stacked up. Corey Deibler, Steve Spoljarek is there, Don Pater.
Probably be easier to name the guys that weren't there because they've been going to the ball like sharks to a feeding frenzy, and you'll see them right here as 5, 6 different guys in on that tackle. Not a place for the uncourageous to go.
Right now it's 3rd and 8 for Pearl. We have 10:20 to go in the ball game. We are in the 4th quarter. McDevitt celebrating. They should. They're up 22-0. Cheerleaders, sweatpants, jacket, anything you can get your hands on to wear in this kind of weather. 10:05 left. Rezick, the sophomore, handoff to Bohr. He's run well in the second half. Gets it up to the 20-yard line, well short of a first down. Well, who else? Todd Mealy again, brother of Tommy. He's been all over on the defensive side today. Number 1 in white for the Crusaders.
Watch Todd Mealy just take a helmet in the chest here as he jumps in front of the man. It's kind of like putting a red flag in front of the bull here. As you have DeVore coming, and Mealy just says, I'll take you on right here, and takes him on high and brings him down.
Rakai Nelson's going to drop deep back towards midfield. This could get interesting. He has got such electrifying speed. I mean, he's kind of like the home run hitter. You always want to stay extra long, maybe to see him bat one more time. This one's kicked away from him, and it'll go all the way down to about the 45-yard line.
It finally rolls out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Good punt in that situation, as Bishop McDevitt still will have good field position, but nothing like what they might have had Rakai Nelson or Jordan Scott gotten their hands on the football.
Good punt by Rezick, who's played well, really, in a reserve role, sophomore. Didn't have much of a chance to, I guess, work with the first team all week because of the injury to Kevin Horwat earlier, who left with the ankle and knee.
35-yard punt that time by Rezick as Bishop McDevitt gets the ball back.
McDevitt will send doubles to the top of your screen. Back goes Scott again. He's rolling, looking, throws, has a man out there. It's going to be Rohasek, and it's overthrown.
Trying to kind of redeem Rohasek from that, or Rohasek rather, from that last fumble that he had on a beautiful catch downfield. But this time being overthrown a little bit by Jordan Scott. Jordan Scott, by the way, his season doesn't end as far as athletics. As soon as he gets done with this, he's got to head back to the basketball court for Jimmy Rao and his Crusaders. He's the point guard on the basketball team. He's been doing that since he's been a sophomore.
Ryan Rohasek as a junior. He had fumbled on that last possession. Right now, 2nd and 10 for McDevitt at the 45. Scott back again, looking. Now he's flushed under the gun. Steps out of trouble there. Now throws. Has a man. It's going to be, I believe, Brian Manny for the first down to the Borough 43-yard line.
You watch a guy like Jordan Scott, and one of the things you can say about him is just the very simple word poise. Here he is. He looks. He dances. He looks again. He jutes. Now he dances away. Puts in, steps out. And now he finds his man Manning on the outside, gives him a little pass, and just like that, another Bishop McDevitt first down.
Down to 8:50 to go. McDevitt thundering toward a state championship in AA. They have been most impressive today. Now they got a 3 wide receiver set off your screen to the bottom. We'll see if they put it up again. They do. Scott back now, quarterback draw, going to keep it himself. Spins out of trouble. 40. Scott's got 5 to the 35 to the 33-yard line. Close to another first down.
And four guys converged that time on Jordan Scott as he was taken down. He's a little slow getting up this time. You'll see Scott come back. It's just a simple quarterback draw. Look at the hole. Scott straight up the middle. Scott makes a spin move right there, gets away, and now he looks for daylight, and finally he sees 3 big blue jerseys coming at him, and he ducks under those very quickly.
Great to have you along. Channel 33, WITF, back in the mid-state area, central Pennsylvania. Bishop McDevitt making their first ever appearance in the state final in AA. Fort Chapman told us before he's carrying the banner for the entire Harrisburg area, especially his conference, which he gives so much credit for preparing his team for this run. Nelson couldn't hang on, picks it up, ball still loose. I think Burrow's got this one at the 35. There's a mad scramble for it. Nelson dropped it once, picked it up, couldn't hang on to it. I mean, it's like handling a brick, a cold brick. Even though the sun is out, it's still a lot colder than it looks on your screen.
Well, you can see Nelson never, ever had the handle. He tries to get it again. He looks up, loses it again. It's actually knocked away, and now on the mad scramble, and it looks like a scrum, and the scrum goes to Burrow on this particular possession. Second straight series where Burrow has recovered a fumble. This time, it was a fumble in which a guy that usually has sure hands never, ever had the handle.
Jason Carpenter was on the recovery.
Get that one off. Here we go.
You can look at it here again, and very hard to see exactly who gets it because everyone just descends on the football. Like I said, if you don't have a lot of friends, grab the football, especially in an open field like that in a fumble, and you'll make a lot of friends in a hurry. Or you get a chance at least to meet a lot of people.
7:25 left. 22-0. Bishop McDevitt. Burrow will take over again. Tom Rezac. He is a 5'9" sophomore. He came into this game on some pretty trying conditions. Jeff DeVore with it. And he is burrowed under that time by Kenny Burrell.
Jeff DeVore trying to come around the near side. Kenny Burrell, a 5'9", 180-pound senior, just basically submarined it. A little bit of extracurricular activity after the play, but referees do a nice job of getting the two to patch it up. You'll see him coming around. Look at the submarine job there by Kenny Burrell. Again, the pitch back. You see DeVore, who's stepping in there for John Horwat, trying to come near side, and a good tackle in the open field. Kenny Burrell, one more time, the 5'9" senior out of Bishop McDevitt.
Well, Burrow has not really had much to do on the offensive side today. It's because of the way McDevitt has just controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. Bad exchange, ball is loose. Don Painter trying to recover. I think Burrow got it back. We'll see who's on the recovery.
Covered up there by Don Painter, as you said, and I think he recovered his own ball there. As Rezick comes back, he tries to hand off, and now a little bit of a mix-up, and Rezick's going to jump right back on top of it. Rezick really hasn't made a mistake this afternoon. The problem is he really hasn't gotten any kind of sustained drive going for this team. And again, you might imagine that coming from a sophomore quarterback who really has not taken that many snaps during the course of the season.
Well, one of the keys is McDevitt feels they have the speed to match up one-on-one in the coverage area, so they've been able to really spring some linebackers on the blitz, throw a different look at them defensively because of their ability to shut off the vertical passing game. Rezick is back, looking. See what I mean? He's got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Now he's under the gun, throws it away. On 3rd and 14, it'll be 4th and 14. Burrow will be forced to punt with 5:32 left.
So many times you come to a state championship and you see teams who are either real big or real fast. Watch this. Bishop McDevitt's both. And this is exactly what Tommy Henderson worried about this afternoon. This is a secondary stall right here, as you see Tom Rezick looking. Looks all over the field, nothing going there, and finally has to throw it away out of bounds to his near side. Great coverage back there by super speed in the secondary of Bishop McDevitt.
And great help out. Ooh, kind of a short hop. Kicks it away. Takes a hop right into Jordan Scott's hands to the 40. Scott dances across the 45 to the 48-yard line. A 9-yard return, and again, Bishop McDevitt, good field position. They control the game right now with 5:14 left. Gary will be down on the field afterward. We'll give you a taste of what this gold medal ceremony is all about. For our audience on Channel 33, WITF back in the Harrisburg area.
You can see Jordan Scott running it back upfield here one more time. As we are 5 minutes and 5 seconds away, if you're a Bishop McDevitt fan, from winning the first gold medal in the school's history.
Jacoby Pittman is into the game now at a wide receiver spot, along with Brian Rahasik. Back goes Scott. Scott looking, now flushed out. He's really under the gun. Kurdick chasing him. Now Scott throws it downfield as a man. McKenzie dances out of bounds at the 35. Make it the 33-yard line. A big pickup there. Dave McKenzie, the 6'4" senior, and a McDevitt first down, and a big gainer of 19.
Football is a game of poise, and none do it better than this young man has this afternoon, Jordan Scott, as he continues to look. Instead of just throwing it away as many quarterbacks might do, he continues to look for an opportunity and finally finds it in the form of one young man named Mr. Dave McKenzie. Nice little looping pass. McKenzie picks it up, keeps his foot in bounds, and gets another pickup, another first down from Bishop McDevitt.
Devitt with a 22-0 lead. Rakai Nelson going in motion, and again they've got single coverage out. We'll wag a look. Now it's a fake handoff going off to Spencer Waters, trying to get to the outside and may have lost a yard. Great coverage there. Again, Bill Ream, who's been all over the football field. Matt Pega as well.
Matt Pega really finished him off. It was the whole defense, though, traveling laterally and very quickly for Burrell that forced the play out of bounds. That's a play that worked pretty well in the first half for about 8 yards. This time gets nothing. You see it again there. Just pushed to the outside. Good lateral pursuit by the defensive line of Burrell.
Spencer Waters holding his hip as he goes off. Well, you got a linebacker on Nelson now to the short side of the field as McDevitt comes back to live action. Scott is really under the gun. Now throws up for grabs. Maybe not have thrown that. It was about quadruple coverage there.
That was one of those decisions right there that Jordan Scott made that I know Fort Chapman just took a big, deep breath over there, because that ball was up for grabs, and there were more blue uniforms that had a better chance of getting that than there were white uniforms. But fortunately for Jordan Scott, it's still a ball that's in his hands as they set up third down and 11 yards to go.
3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the ball game. Looking like a double handoff. Oh, Nelson back to Scott. Scott shakes free. Now loads long as a man. McKenzie, and he can't hang on. He just missed him in the end zone.
Well, that's what you call a little bit of French pastry there.
How many handoffs were there? 3?
You had 3 different handoffs that time. Let's take a look at this. Once. Now twice. Now, just in case you thought that was like the old weave in basketball right there, as Jordan Scott steps to the outside, breaks away from a tackler. He has got a man wide open in the end zone, and it's Dave McKenzie. And McKenzie with the outstretched hands, oh, ever so close, but right through the palms. And a great effort there by Scott and McKenzie, but to no avail.
You know how that play sounds in the huddle? You go by the car, I'll go by the tree, you hand it off to me here, and I'll throw it there. That was in the sand big time, and it worked. He was open. Just an inch or two closer, and he brings it home. Scott rolling on 4th and 11. Now he's going to load long as a man. It's McKenzie. Touchdown! Bishop McDevitt. 34 yards. Scott floats it, and McKenzie this time brings it home.
And how's that for putting an exclamation point on an outstanding afternoon? Watch Scott. Great pickup on the block there. You see the man stepping in, and that time was Kevin Mitchell laying out a heck of a block to open up Jordan Scott by an extra second, and then the touchdown pass to McKenzie in the far corner of the end zone. And Bishop McDevitt, operating on all cylinders this afternoon, has jumped to a 28-0 lead. But now the mystery part of the tour begins one more time as they step up to try to hit the extra point.
Nice adjustment by McKenzie. Senior ending his career on a resounding note, and the kick is up, and it is good. And 29-0, Bishop McDevitt.
I was going to say, Jed, you know things are going well when they finally got one through the uprights there, because that's not the part of their game. And as we said, the only weakness of the game that we have seen in Bishop McDevitt has been that offensive special teams. But even that works on this particular series, 29-0. And you can see the celebration has started for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders on the far sidelines. Only 3:26 to go in this game. And Scott has been nothing short of brilliant this afternoon. 12 of 19 in the passing department, 205 yards, and a pair of touchdowns.
Armando Chilmazo with the extra point. Well, for Chapman, his dad, Harry Chapman, won a lot of District 3 championships with Cumberland Valley. died from cancer in 1989. We asked him before the game what he was thinking, but basically here, Jordan Scott, the knockout punch, I think they wanted him to go out in style, and here they do.
And what happened here, Kevin Mitchell opened up a little bit more time for Jordan Scott to get rid of that with a great block. He throws it downfield, finds his man McKenzie in the end zone. And I'll tell you, Harry Chapman III has got to be looking down right now. He's probably pretty proud of the Suns' effort and the team's effort here this afternoon as they lead 29-0 and are 3 minutes and 26 seconds away from a state championship.
He was joking with us. He says, well, he may not like the way we throw the football around, but last week he might have been proud because we used the power I to go 60 yards with the game on the line to win the Eastern Final against Lansdale Catholic. Ball is fielded by Ryan Dunmeyer. This is a 6'3" junior to the 38-yard line, and the countdown begins. 29-0. Crusaders on their way to the District 3 championship in AA.
You get the impression that Chapman Sr., had he been around, might not have liked the flea flicker play so well that they ran there.
What, the 3 handoffs?
Ago. Oh, my goodness.
I think Harry Sr., 3 handoffs means 1 series.
One of the things we haven't talked about this afternoon, the shoes of the team today. That's a ripple sole type shoe that you have to wear. It's not the normal spikes. And as we talk about that, look at the Bishop McDevitt people. Curtain call time.
Well, that defensive line, Corey Deibler, Don Painter, Steve Spoljarek, Rocco Cangelosi, Todd Rombach. There they are. They dominated right over that football today. And I mean, from start to finish, they made the statement, and it was a loud one. 29-0, and they're the big reason why.
You know, Duffy Daugherty, when his team first lost on artificial turf wearing the wrong kind of shoes, he was asked after the game, he said, did the shoes have a big bit to play with you losing this afternoon? He said, you know, blaming shoes for a loss is like blaming the Johnstown flood on a leaky faucet in Altoona. And that's exactly the way you look at it here today. You got to have the right equipment when you come to play, but I'll tell you what, it wouldn't matter what kind of shoes Bishop McDevitt had on this afternoon. They are fast on any surface you look at.
They've got big shoes to fill, though, with lots of seniors. Deibler, Painter, Jordan Scott, Rakai Nelson. These are the guys that really built this tradition. Ball is loose. Ball is scrambled for. I believe Burrow's got it. Underneath 3 minutes to go.
And for these Burrow kids, you know, today is one of those days you look at and you say, man, everything went wrong today that could have possibly gone wrong. As you see them cover up the fumble here. But at the same time, they're going to look back on this season as kind of a dream come true. They have really had a lot of fun. They've won a lot of close games. They've played with a lot of courage. They've been an underdog every game that they've gone into, and particularly in the WPIAL playoffs, and they've come out victorious, save this one game here against a very superior Bishop McDevitt team today.
Underneath 2.5 minutes to go. Handoff goes to Moore. Ball is loose. Ball is scrambled for, and I think Burrow got it back. That's the 3rd fumble now that they have recovered in the last 2 series. Loss all the way back to the 31 or 32-yard line. 32 will make it on the official spot. And again, it's tough to handle.
Well, Jed, the tenaciousness of this defense continues as they strip the ball away one more time. Burrell jumps on top, but they're going the wrong direction at the moment as they're all the way back to 3rd and 17. Now you'll see the handoff again. He has the football. Now it's stripped away. We can't see the number of the player that got his hand in there, but just basically stripped the ball off his body.
Final 150 of the game. Bishop McDevitt in control, 29-0, and on their way to a state championship. Jeff DeVore, great open field tackle that time. Jason Reed, he's a senior, getting some time, contributing scout, and also on special teams. A lot of these guys you don't see, Gary, and I know you say this about backups that don't see a lot of the limelight, don't see a lot of the playing time, don't think their contributions are not significant during the week. Guys like Jason Reed have a lot to do with why they're here.
Well, you have a team that has a Rakai Nelson, a Jordan Scott, a Mealy. You have people like that you hear about all the time. You don't hear about those guys. You also don't hear about the assistant coaches a lot of times. The Brian Bullocks, the Scott Feldmans, Rick Pierce, Mike Whitehead, Ron Rose. Those guys are very important, too, to this whole organization.
Burrow will punt, and we've got about a minute to go now, and counting as they have kind of a faster clock with this issue in hand. You're right, the assistants do make it, but Fort Chapman has rebuilt this program, and they are one to watch, and they are built for power. I guess the big question is, Fort Chapman going to be staying at Bishop McDevitt? And been wide speculation that he might become an assistant at Pitt or Penn State, or maybe take another head coaching job somewhere else in the area. Hate to see him lose him on this particular level. I think he'll be back maybe for a couple of more years of McDevitt, but you never know. The rumor mill is certainly going, and success brings that.
Well, he's a guy that certainly understands discipline on and off the field, as we see the handoff here by Bishop McDevitt, and flags down on the play.
Flags everywhere. Take your pick.
You know, it starts at the junior high level, too, for this Bishop McDevitt team. Kevin Lawrence, the junior varsity coach. Doug Ernie, a guy a lot of people remember out of Mechanicsburg, who's the quarterback coach on the junior varsity level, played at Rutgers. Not Rutgers, this Doug Ernie, the brother of the other Ernie, the older Ernie, who played at William & Mary as a receiver. And then Rick Perlick, a junior varsity assistant. Hey, these guys are all big. Craig Sherrick, the athletic trainer. Craig Shibley, the administrative assistant. Jim Bruno, the director of athletics over at Bishop McDevitt. It's a team approach, and Bishop McDevitt has brought that team approach here this afternoon to get ready to take home a gold medal.
Brought at least 2,000 fans for the ride down from the Harrisburg area to celebrate their moment in the sun. Kind of a surprise we'd see a moment in the sun today with the forecast that we had heading in. They were calling 4 to 6 inches, calling a 12-man on the field penalty.
Burl figured, hey, maybe we could try something out there that we haven't tried.
Put an extra guy.
Didn't work. 15-yard penalty, and Bishop McDevitt still with the ball as the clock ticks to 30 seconds.
Into the game at quarterback now is Mike Kalili. He's a sophomore. He'll be one of the guys next year competing for the job. Handoff straight up the middle that time to Scott Copenheffer, and that'll do it. Final 15 seconds. As there you see the final play. We'll go now to live action. You can see Bishop McDevitt walking it off. It is over. Bishop McDevitt came in here with an attitude and a focus and a message and delivered it resoundingly. 29-0 against the Western champ Burl, and District 3 has their first state champ since Cumberland Valley in 1992.
Well, Chad, you talk about a team that came in this afternoon and put together a combination that was lethal, and you talk about the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders who walk home with their first gold medal as you see them going through, congratulating a very game Burl team that came in here, walking the tightrope throughout the course of the season, winning overtime games, coming from behind, being the perennial underdog. But Bishop McDevitt brought a lethal combination of speed and size here today to come in and walk away with the state championship. And you look at the numbers, and they stand tall here, 29-0, 152-17 in rushing this afternoon, 205-59 in passing for McDevitt, 357 yards of total offense to only 76 for Burl. Mealy, 17 rushes for 80 yards. Jordan Scott, the quarterback, 12 of 19 for 205 yards, 2 TDs. And Rakai Nelson, 6 catches for 104 yards. And you know, they say big players come up in big games. Those three, the triumvirate, the big players for Bishop McDevitt this afternoon. And you look at the other side of the ball, and that entire defense could get a game ball as well, because they just shut down a high-octane, 30-point-a-game Burl offense.
Well, Gary, the one thing you want to keep in mind, these are the two left standing in this particular bracket. It all starts in August. These two-a-days that you get to where temperatures are well over 100 degrees, and these guys are banging around for 5 months. You got to get here to have any shot. I know Burl and the disappointment. You've been on both ends of this particular dial, and you look at Burl in a losing cause. But I'll tell you, there's nothing to be ashamed of making it this far. You are a winner regardless of outcome.
Well, you know, you have to dance with the girl you brought to the dance, and that's exactly what Burl did this afternoon. And you see it says AA state champion McDevitt now on the big sign on the far side as they start to unveil those. But Burl came in here. They had a couple tough injuries this afternoon to the Horwath brothers. Both guys instrumental to their success. And, of course, Bishop McDevitt, that lethal combination we've talked about so often, just too much for the Burl Buccaneers today.
Bishop McDevitt, too big, too strong, too much, too early, often, and it will, as they blow out Burl 29-0 to get the job done and win what you see on your screen right there, the AA championship trophy in high school football. A lot of thanks to Brad Cashman, the executive director of the PIAA, and his staff, and of course Tom Bradley, who's really been our host this whole weekend here in Altoona. Got another game to follow on WITF Channel 33 for those of you staying with us in the Harrisburg area at 5. Lower Dauphin will go up against Penn Hills, the number 5 team nationally. There are the names of the people behind the scenes that bring you all of the pictures and sounds of this great event here in Altoona. And a lot of thanks as well to our friends at WBRE and Wilkes-Barre Scranton for getting this game back to the Harrisburg area as well. From Mansion Park in Altoona, McDevitt has won it 29-0. Have a great day, everybody.
This special presentation of the PIAA Football Championships is made possible on WITF by contributing members and by Hershey Park, presenting the Wildcat, the new wooden roller coaster for '96. PNC Bank, serving 13 counties in central Pennsylvania. PNC Bank is your kind of bank, a quality bank for a lifetime. RMA Construction Company, providing quality commercial construction and proud to support PIAA football in central Pennsylvania. Shadler Brothers Incorporated, specializing in lighting, electrical supplies, industrial automation, and premise networking, serving central Pennsylvania for over 70 years. Alex R. Zales Incorporated, committed to quality restoration of fire and water damaged commercial and residential properties. And Warner Chrysler Plymouth, proud to support the Lower Dauphin Falcons in the PIAA Football Championships.
And we here in the WITF studio say congratulations, Bishop McDevitt. A well done job, 29-0, a state champion right here in central Pennsylvania. And remember, at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Lower Dauphin, another central Pennsylvania team coming your way. And this is a program, this is a game that was brought to you through community support. This was really a great activity that came together with the thanks and the help of the underwriters, the help of the community, an article in the local newspaper telling you that we wanted to bring you this game. We didn't quite have the dollars to do it. It's here. We're very proud to be part of this entire community service. And right now we're asking you, in the glow of victory, if you could go to your phone and make a very important pledge of support. Pledge $45, $60, $120. Your dollars help make this program possible. That's how public television works, and we're very proud to be a part of it. I'm a native of central Pennsylvania myself. I have a lot of friends who are Bishop McDevitt graduates or Harrisburg Catholic graduates, if you go back that far. And we're now asking you to go to your phone and make that pledge of support. 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF. And we're going to check in with Donna Apodoni of our membership department with some very important information. Donna?
This is very important information. You know, we had set a big goal this afternoon, what we thought was a very big goal, 30 memberships. That's what we were looking for. And we based that on the fact that we had a goal for this afternoon before we decided to put the football game in. We planned to have a goal of 30. So we said, hey, let's stay with that. Can we reach a goal of 30? Well, let me tell you what happened here. We had this goal of 30 memberships, okay? And we heard from a couple of people over here in Mechanicsburg. We heard from them. And then we went way over and we heard from Hershey, and we heard from some people over there. And then over here, and right in our area, we heard from a couple of more people, and then came down here and heard from some people down in Adams County. And pretty soon, do you know what happened? We had an amazing 104 memberships. John Madden really should keep his job. There's no threat for me to take that away from him. There was a $120 membership. Someone called right there. This is an overwhelming response. And in spite of my being silly here at the goal board, I do have to thank everybody who's calling, but I also want to encourage you to call now. We would love to be able to bring you the championships whenever they apply. We would love to be able to do that, but we can only do that with member support. And we want to hear from you right now at 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF. Tom, what do you think?
Well, I think that we're going to go back to Altoona in just a couple of minutes for some very special information. Remind you, our volunteers are here. Let's go to Jed Donahue, who's live in Altoona right now. Jed?
Thank you, Tom. What an impressive performance by the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt as they win the AA championship by a final of 29-0. Jed Donahue, along with Gary Sutton, it was a great thrill bringing it back to the Harrisburg area. Game one of our doubleheader this afternoon on Channel 33. We'll be back at 5 with Lower Dauphin and Penn Hills. Well, McDevitt dropped down to AA, hoping to be more competitive because of the enrollment thing. Thought it might be a more level playing field for them. Well, Burrow's good ball club, but I'll tell you what, McDevitt was just on a different level today than just about anybody on AA. I mean, they are legit state champs in a resounding way.
You know, Jed, the playing field that Bishop McDevitt played on this afternoon was about 10 feet higher than the one that Burrell was on all afternoon.
Right.
Burrell couldn't reach that particular standard. And we were talking with both coaches before the game, and they said, hey, listen, if Bishop McDevitt plays at the standard they've played all season long, we're not sure that the Burrell team can ever get there. Well, that was the unfortunate part for Burrow this afternoon, and for Bishop McDevitt, it's a standard that's been set high, and you come home with the gold. And that's what's supposed to happen when you play as well as McDevitt has played all year, playing against 4A competition and playing a high standard of football, which now has been rewarded with a state gold medal.
I've known Fort Chapman for a long time. I knew his dad, Harry Chapman. I know how proud he must be. He built the Cumberland Valley program, and his son today, you know, he said he was thinking about him. He says 90% of the preparation that I learned to teach a football team, your state champs right there in AA, comes from him. He's added his own touch, such as the throwing of the football and the certain different wrinkles that he brings in and the preparation that he brings to the table. But what a great moment today for the Chapman family and for this particular program, which had some great years in the late 80s with Ricky Waters and James Bryant, finally back in the promised land, and I think it's a big relief for their following and the players here.
And you sense a real togetherness there by this Bishop McDevitt team here this afternoon, and by the crowd of the fans that we had a chance to see last night. And again, that's what's supposed to happen here. You can show them they're not ready to leave yet. They're over on the far side there, going with the cheers. The team's up in the stands, passing the trophy around. That's the togetherness you want.
All right, we got a 5 o'clocker coming up here with Lower Dauphin and also with Penn Hills. Did you enjoy today? Well, Channel 33 has certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. If you think this is the kind of thing that you like to see and kind of things that your community needs, then pledge your support. And Tom Keck will tell you how that can happen. We'll be back here at 5 at Mansion Park in Altoona. We've got 1 down, 1 to go as far as the gold is concerned. We'll see if Lower Dauphin is up to the challenge in Quad A against Penn Hills. Until 5 o'clock today, have a good afternoon, everybody. Tom, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jed. A lot of excitement out there, and we appreciate those special comments. And do stay tuned, 5 o'clock this afternoon. We do have the Lower Dauphin game, and coming up in just a couple of minutes, a wonderful program leading into the Lower Dauphin game called Woof. Woof. And it's a guide to dog training, so stay tuned for that as well. But we have some very special thank you gifts Donna is going to be telling you about in just a couple of seconds. I'd like to remind you that when you do make that pledge, you also receive a prize magazine. For a pledge of $45 or more, you would become a member of WITF, and that makes you receive the prize magazine once a month for an entire year. You would also receive the WITF member card, which entitles you to discounts at 120 businesses throughout central Pennsylvania and actually beyond. So make that new pledge, or perhaps it's time for you to renew your membership. Do that now. Or consider an extra gift to your public television station in a way of a thank you, really, for carrying these games today. We urge you to charge your pledge to Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. But right now, make that phone call, 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF. And Donna, tell us about those great thank you gifts.
Oh, we have some great stuff from Bishop McDevitt School. This is the wool blanket with the Crusaders emblem on it for a contribution of $75. This is a very, very thick navy wool. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's been keeping us warm here under the lights all afternoon. $75 contribution to WITF, and we'll send you this fantastic Crusaders blanket. Isn't that attractive? Also, the gray Bishop McDevitt sweatshirt. It's the one I've been wearing all afternoon. It's got the logo on here. It's available in sizes large and extra large, and it's yours with a contribution of $60. And next, our lovely model, Tom Keck, with his navy Bishop McDevitt sweatshirt with a gold logo on it, available again in large or extra large. We thought he worked for McDonald's at first, and then we realized what was going on. $60 contribution, and it's yours. And we have 2 T-shirts. This is very nice. This is...
I like this one.
I love this one. This is a nice, heavy T-shirt with a ribbed fabric on it. It's got the gold logo on it, again, large or extra large, with a contribution of $50, or T-shirt number 2. This is the very colorful version with how's that? That'll glow in the dark, won't it? Available again in large or extra large, a contribution to WITF of $50, and we can make sure that you get one of these. We've got the McDevitt license plate. Yes! Show everybody you love the Crusaders. $50 contribution to WITF, and you can put this on your car. Isn't that nice? And we also have the Bishop McDevitt cotton hat, and, you know, I just love a good excuse to mess up my hair, so here you go. $45 contribution to the station, and we'll make sure that, that you get one of those. And the pennant. Oh, my gosh, now you need a pennant. Our team won. Yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like. You can put it on your mantle, as we have, or anywhere on a wall. That bell means that somebody has just contributed $120. If you can see fit to do that, we'd love to hear from you. We hope that you're calling this afternoon because you're proud of Bishop McDevitt High School and proud of everything that's happened here this afternoon. But I also hope that you're calling because you're proud of WITF. We're proud of it. We're happy to be here with you this afternoon. Don't forget the Lower Dauphin team's game is coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon on WITF, and we'll be here with you for that as well. Call us right now with your contribution. Support the school, be a booster, and support public TV as well. 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF.
And WITF is Central Pennsylvania's public television station. I think you know that. And we really are here to serve the community. And it really was a great privilege for us to be able to bring you this great Bishop McDevitt team this afternoon, and a really exciting 29-0 win, and we congratulate Bishop McDevitt. We also congratulate Burrell as well, because it really is a special feat to be involved in a state championship. And our fans out there who happen to live in this area, who are from the Burrell area, well, we congratulate you as well. But we're cheering today for Bishop McDevitt, and really, everybody in the area has become a Bishop McDevitt fan today, and we are very proud to be a part of that. Central Pennsylvania has given WITF so much over the years. This is really one of the ways that we had the opportunity to give back. But we're still here asking for your support, because your support is so valuable. Somebody called in earlier, I think it was somebody from Trinity who called in and said, we really appreciate this. We really appreciate you doing that. And so people from throughout Central Pennsylvania have gotten involved in this. Think of the programs Sesame Street, Nova, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Nature. These programs have one thing in common, and that's viewer support. Become a supporting viewer right now by becoming a member. 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF.
And here's what you can do. Here's how you can continue to help WITF. You want to know how? Well, I'd like to be able to tell you. All you have to do is call us this afternoon. You can do us a big favor because you'll be contributing to WITF, and that's what makes public TV happen. This is a community-supported station. You can support this station and our team, our WITF team, but also, of course, the Bishop McDevitt team by purchasing a booster item. We have plenty of them available for $50 and $60, and some good stuff here. You've seen them all. We'll show you again before this afternoon is over. But please be a part of the public TV team, because it's just important that you do if we're going to stay alive and strong and be able to bring you PIAA football and other special programs as they come up. Contribute right now, please. Call 233-9000 or 1-800-233-WITF.
And stay tuned, because coming up in just about a minute or so is Woof, which is a guide to dog training coming your way. There's a $120 pledge. We thank you very much for that. Woof, a guide to dog training will be coming your way shortly. I'm sorry, audio person, I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I just, you know, that's the name of the program, be coming your way, followed actually by a very special new program, Wishbone. So if you're into dogs and you really want to have a great afternoon, waiting for the Lower Dauphin game to start, stay tuned to WITF. It is important that we hear from you, because your dollars make programs possible. I remind you that when you become a member, you receive the Apprise magazine as well as the WITF member card. And we have many, many thank you gifts that our volunteers will be able to tell you about. Donna has a few of them right here, including the hat. It's a great hat, too. I like the colors.
Hat. Yeah.
Many ways of saying thank you at the $60 level, the $120 level. We even have some at the $45 level this afternoon. Like the hat. And we'll be sending you a statement, but we urge you to charge by Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover if you can do that. Every member truly does make a difference, and that means you. So we're urging you to call 233-9000, 1-800-233-WITF. Congratulations, Bishop McDevitt, and now it's time for Woof.